Okay. That. Make sure that actually shuts the fuck off. Okay. Okay. Is what it is. Is what it is. Okay. Hopefully. Wait. Do one thing. Open this back up. Okay. This. Give it time. Okay. Now we're going to leave it. We're going to open Splitgate and we're going to just leave it. See how long it takes us to get back in the damn game. Okay. At least my fucking stream deck worked. The great wait begins again. All right, we still have 59 minutes. We can have a little bit of fun. Before the debate, I mean. Do. Okay. I just want to play a few games, dude. Thank you. Fuck. Okay. Oh shit. I like it. What? Okay. What is this? What's happening? Alright, don't care. I want to play something. Gun game. What is gun game? A rando map. Is it actually a 3v3? It is. What? What's up, dude? Okay. Whoa. Oh, kill enemies to advance your gun. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Melee enemies increase or decrease their gun tier. Okay.
Gun game.
I've never played on this map before.
Lost the lead. Tied the leader.
Whoa, what? Oh. Fuck. Oh, I've never played this type of game before. What?
Lost the lead.
Oh my god. Can we warm up the shots, please? Fuck out of here. What? My melee didn't connect. Sick, dude. Dude, fuck. I don't know what I just got killed by, but... Where the... Yo. Fuck. And literally all three of them on me. There's a whole map, you know. Oh man, I gotta get better at aiming. These fucking portals. Bruh, come on. Oh,
5 minutes remaining.
no.
Kingslayer.
Fuck. He meleeed me too. God damn it.
Kingslayer.
Oh. God damn it. I'm alright. Stressing out. Are you shitting me?
Kingslayer. Double kill. Double kill.
Let's go. Oh, fuck. Oh. Dude, I got pinched. Damn it. Get wrecked, nerd. Oh, also, why did I not move up on that kill?
Game over.
Dude, fuck. I don't know how that works. Like, why did I tie? Why is it second place tie? What happened there? 10% headshot accuracy. Hell yeah. On the BR. Dick. I'm gonna find a new match. That one's lame. Let's do this. Free for all. Okay.
Game starts in 5,
It.
4, 3, 2, 1. Free for all. First blood. Gain the lead. Gain the lead.
Wait, did the map get changed?
Lost the lead.
Bruh, no.
Tied the leader.
Oh, how do you get rock? Oh, I don't know where the rockets are on this map. What the fuck? Nah, I'm dead. Dead. Dude, God, who the fuck has... Oh, fuck.
Lost the lead.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Tied the leader.
Fuck! God damn it.
Lost the lead.
I am playing like shit. Oh man, come on. I can't fucking aim. Fuck, I picked the wrong goddamn one. Drop down and fucking fight me, damn it.
Remaining.
I'm fucked. You bitch. Fuck. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have chased. What the fuck? 20 foot. That's such bullshit. Sloppy as fuck today, dude. Fuck. God, well now I know where they are. Man. What the fuck? Hit me. That. Okay. The rockets travel ridiculously fast, apparently. What is this? What? Yo, the gate that splits. Hell yeah. Is the aim assist insane? On controller? Fuck off. Also, what's up, Butters? Fuck out of here. Doing good, doing fine. Hell yeah. what I like to hear. I don't know about you, but I can't fucking shoot with this gun. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I deserve to die there. Fuck me. That was clunky. I am playing like shit, and it's really fucking annoying me.
1 minute remaining.
All right, I give up on this fucking round. Fuck. Don't need the fucking replay, dude.
Game over.
Dog shit. Fucking imagine. Fuck the new egg shuffle. Nice. Okay. Got 3v3 again. There we go. Okay. Team Shoddy Snipers. I'll take that.
Okay.
Hey, Bacon. Be quiet. How do you fucking... How do you mute someone? Team SWAT's your favorite? Yeah, I love SWAT. I was a 50 in Halo 3 back in the day, dude. SWAT's one of my absolute favorite game types.
4, 3, 2, 1. Team deathmatch.
No.
Lost the lead.
I know better, and yet here, god damn it. I fucking tilt myself sometimes. Please, please.
Double kill.
Wrecked.
Tied the leader. Lost the lead. Gained the lead. Lost
Damn
the
it.
lead.
Oh, hold on. What the fuck?
Killing
Fuck.
spree.
All right, I'll take it. I don't care. Stop it with the fucking replay videos. In blank amount of time. That shit. Fuck that guy. Well, I'm not debating. We're watching one. So Destiny and a new political commentator, I guess, Miyo, are going to be debating immigration and at least one other topic. And in the interactions Destiny had with this guy that I have caught before, this guy sounded like an absolute moron. Like, had no actual idea what he was talking about, but all of the confidence that he knew what he was talking about. It's actually kind of embarrassing. Oh, shit. I'm gonna... Oh, fuck. All right. Of course we're losing. I'll debate you on the issue, by the way, if you want. Where you at, you bitch? What the fuck? Is there an even? There is an even higher.
Remaining.
Don't hit me. Don't hit. Damn it. Ah. Haven't lost once in Splitgate. Weird flex, but okay. What have you played? Like 2 games? I'm just kidding, by the way. Fuck you. Get wrecked. Fuck. Of course. Wow.
Kingslayer.
Whoa, what the dude? What? I didn't even see that, dude. $17-30, dude. My teammates are literally throwing. Sounds like fun? What part of that sounds like fun? Fucking damn it, dude. All right, we're gonna play the sneak game right here. Okay. We out. Now, I want you to come to me. Come on. Oh, man, my brain just froze in between those two. They came out on both sides at like the same time. Wrecked. Ah! Oh, shit.
Kingslayer.
Is that so? Dude, fucking goddamn it. Whatever, doesn't matter. We got absolutely dumpstered this round.
Game over.
Well, that was easy. Jesus. This is fucking smacked.
I fucking hate it when kids talk like this. It's a fucking multiplayer game. Shut the fuck up. New match.
Really fucking smacked.
Lava well, let's do this. Multiplayer games are fun sometimes. Indeed. Especially when you're playing with and against people who aren't dicks. All right, fair enough. Hey, also, since you're on YouTube, if you haven't already, can you hit that like? Thank you. Help me out with the algorithm, as they say. Thank you. Oh, I love this. Love this. It's always cool when this is what's going on.
Game starts.
There we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Team SWAT, aim for the head.
Oasis. Fuck.
Gain the lead.
Oh my god, I thought, wow. I feel like that should have gotten him, but whatever. Hello, the fuck? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Good save. Thank you. Fucking what the fuck? Alright, well. Fuck those portals. We got a different from average cactus. Cool. Oh, that didn't work. Where the fuck is everybody?
Collection agency.
Collection agency. I love that.
5 minutes remaining.
Oh. Sounds so stupid yet cool. I like it, yeah. Oh.
Double kill.
The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Shit.
Game over.
Wrecked.
Victory.
Yeah. Man, I wonder where everybody is today. Have you played this game yet, Butters? Oh, wait. Yeah, you have. I'm an idiot. You were literally just, yeah, talking about having your favorite map and stuff. Here I am being brain dead. Played for 4 hours? Okay. I don't think I've gotten to 4 hours yet, but probably, I don't know, like 3? No matches lost yet. Yeah, well, eh. Have you been playing with people or solo queuing? Shoddy snipers on silo. Let's do this. Okay. All right. Well, hey, if you ever want to play, you let me know. Obviously not tonight because we got like 22 minutes. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either. I've just been playing it because, you know, I don't know. Nobody's been on. Nobody's been saying much, really. So I'm just playing and having fun.
3, 2, 1. Team deathmatch.
You fucker, dude. Ah, man. That was dumb. Out of here. Nice shot. Shotguns are broken? What do you mean? I'm 1 for 2. This is not good. Oh. Dude, God damn it. Turn around. Turn around. Thank you.
Double kill.
Get fucked.
Tied the leader. Gain the lead. Lost the lead.
You fuck.
Tied the leader.
Hello? Hello? What the fuck?
Tied the leader.
I mean, all right. I can get the like wait time cancel, but I mean, they're supposed to deal a lot of damage, right? Fuck. He fall damaged. Oh, that's good stuff. Come and get me, bitch. Look at this guy.
Tied the leader.
Damn it. Of course he dropped down. The one thing I will say, it feels like this game needs slide. God fucking damn it.
5 minutes remaining.
All right. I shouldn't, I don't know why I challenged that. I don't know. Hello? Do I not, thank you.
King Slayer.
Dude. Nah, nice shot. Tom, it was too late. Why would I not switch? Why would I not? All right, that's all right. I'm still getting back into the multiplayer rhythm. I fucking hate myself.
Tied the leader. Gain the lead.
What just happened? What just happened? Did I fall through the floor? Fucking stupid. That was a dumb move. Why would I not switch? Dude, I'm gonna piss myself off. How did we just drop 3 fucking points? Fuck. Still waiting for the Lego game thing. Yeah, that's... Wait, wasn't it supposed to come out already? JD Imposter, what is up? Yeah, it's been a while. How you been? Delayed indefinitely. Wow. Well, that's not a good look. Oh, I'm good. Good to see you. Get fucked. Oh, you don't also... Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Nice pop. Thank you.
Tied the leader.
Yeah, where you at? Don't fucking... I thought he was going to run faster. Gamescom opening night live is my best bet to get any news. Game is still... I mean, yeah, obviously the game is still being worked on. Duh. But yeah, that sucks. Oh, man. Trash team. Trash team. Fuck. This is exactly what I hate about solo queuing arena games. How did I do? Yeah, I mean, not great. 8 and 18. Oh, I know. I thought he was going to come around the corner way faster with his shotty, so I twitched it left. I don't know if you saw that. But he, like, came cash walking around that fucking corner. Like, bruh, nobody does that shit, so good for you. You win. Been spamming that game? Huh. Let's do Lava Well for gun game. Oh, I'm still in Discord. I even have my own. You should join it. Hit ! Discord. I'm gonna get a little community started. I think I only have 3 people so far. Looking for people to play with. Massey, that's right. I remember Massey. Okay, yeah. The only good thing Great Britain gave me.
4, 3, 2, 1. Gun game.
All right, let's F some effers up. Huh?
Lost the lead.
Aw, man, I don't know these maps well enough. This sucks. Heal. Yeah, I heard that ping. Shit. What a trash play by me. Oh. Where you at, bitch?
Tied the leader.
Fuck.
Lost the lead.
All right, I can do the SMG. Not too bad. Damn it. That was a shitty play. That was a shitty play, dude. That's all on me. Oh, whoa, what are we doing? Where am I? What is this map? Oh, fuck. Ooh, I'll take that.
Lost the lead.
Dude, god damn it. I meant to hit the melee, not the nade. Shit. All right, well, I don't know where he went. Oh, shit. God damn it. I thought I had the other one deployed already. I don't know where I want to go anyways, so I guess it doesn't really matter. All right, I'll take it. From 3 miles away with the fucking plasma rifle. Got him. Come get me, bitch. Ah, damn. Bro, where's literally everyone? Damn it. Come here, you look. Damn it. Melee magnetism is insane. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty strong, yeah. This is my opportunity. Get wrecked. Ah, damn it. Fuck. Not a huge fan of gun game, if I'm being honest. It's sort of like, this is the randomness that I don't like about games generally. Fuck. I mean, I know it's not random, but it kind of is. Like, I don't know how much fucking other people have, how many kills other people have gotten on the fly. Like, while I'm trying to fucking kill someone with a baseball bat. Fuck. Dude, god damn it. Are you fucking me? That's... Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. How do I know he's got that shit? I need to dial in my fucking aim. God, I hate missing.
Slayer. Double kill.
Damn it! Just fucking... This fucking real life, dude. Oh, fuck. All right, I'll take it. Yeah, you say luck. Ha! Luck would be, like, actually winning the game. For me. Take that. Fuck. Nah, it ain't gonna happen, but that was a pretty good little run of catch-up. Fuck strafes, dude. I feel like the reticle for the BR does need to be a little bit larger. Little bit closer to the Halo reticle size, because fuck, man, the strafe is so snappy and it's really hard to fucking like trace people. Fuck.
Game over.
Damn it. All right, well, that's all right. That was a good set of games as far as I'm concerned. I had fun. And now, we're gonna go pee, grab another beer, and be ready for this debate. I hope someone sticks around to actually watch and talk about it, but also no pressure either way. I want to watch. I don't know what the fuck I just did, but whatever. Aisle? All right, I'll take that. That's cool. Hey, nice. All right, claim these. God, I gotta stop doing that. So unprofesh, dude. Now, where are the other 6 rewards it's telling me that I have? I literally don't know. Oh, damn, BFB stands for Big Freaking Bat. Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. All right, what am I now? Beta tester? Ooh, I want to be a beta fish. Beta tester it is. Rewards in weekly? What does that mean? Where do you... I don't know. Yeah, it's weird because it says 6. Oh, maybe it's just 6 stars just sitting there? I don't know. Kind of goofy, but... Anyways, all right. Good sesh. I enjoyed. All right, so now we'll go ahead and go to intermission. Get this pulled up. Live in about 15 minutes. They said 11 minutes ago. All right, we're going to go to Destiny. Stream. All right. Sounds good. Okay. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and play some music real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Go ahead and hide some shit. Oh,
Should be in like 3 minutes. He's driving. He's driving.
wait. Hey, this is today. Nice. Everyone welcome Shen. Haha. See, what do we have in here? Okay. Yeah, this'll work. Doesn't need to be anything like super important.
Did you ever start having Matt Yagleus on a stream?
And like,
wants to.
you know,
What are we talking about?
Taking
Guys
up the
ask me,
majority
you
of
ever
the
consider access to- I'll
screen
talk to
real
anybody,
estate
just
and
need a
shit.
subject. I'm tired.
How's the volume compared to me? Can you hear it well enough?
Why is Riley more bass than you?
Oh my god guys, I have Destiny's food and I'm so nervous
Oh,
if
good man.
I screw this up he's gonna just call off the debate and rage Q leak. Oh god, Teresa truck, oh no, oh good.
Oh. Oh shit. Jesus fuck.
Traveling in planes? Nope, it is what it
Rio
is.
Flamel, $5. Shout out to all the DGs at Hotacon. We're meeting in Atrium B to start our door knocking at 9 PM. YouTube chat rise up, kill chaos.
I feel like I've outpaced him intellectually.
What's all you Kuma s, it's your boy Clovan. Banned but I'm back. Debate me Destiny, I will dispatch you with matrimony. Scrub ass Norman.
Bro, you are actually crazy. Okay. What do you think of the encounter from TOS yesterday? I thought it was okay. I think we need to get careful on like the... It feels like we're getting hardcore into the rule lawyering shit, where we're starting to complain about every single potential thing, which I think is... I think last episode I started to feel it the most.
I'm trying to. Is there just fucking chatting
sec.
on Facebook? No. Fucking. All right. Well.
Damn it, dude! I just got here.
Guess we'll just
yo,
update it
Chuck,
like this.
Is it expensive to? Is it expensive to make this website he has? Like how who I have to pay someone to make a ZGG whatever the fuck?
Okay.
Like how much does it cost? Who do I pay and who?
Jack
I
Rom
don't
said-
have
Oh
to
god,
edit his.
Zerka's in here.
Unironically,
I don't think
how
I
much
even
does
Not a
it
huge
cost
fan
to
of
play
Zerka.
Just the
fighting
chat.
games?
He's one of your sort of like
Use-
prototypical
offline channel.
inflammatory streamers.
How much does it cost? Because I'm gonna be streaming for like the next 20 years anyway. I might as well.
Dark Shadow Elm, $5.
actually pay if you
Kissing
don't
face, kissing face, kissing face,
Give me
kissing
$200 to
face,
set up?
kissing
Okay,
face,
but is it for life?
kissing face, kissing
give you
face,
$200 easily.
kissing face,
Easily.
kissing face, kissing face.
I fucking hate it when people do this shit.
Kissing face.
Holy shit, the emotes went through? How the fuck do you have that emote, dude? I thought that's a tier 2.
Yeah, you stop it right now, okay? I have text to speech on as well, and I swear I'm gonna like
Don't do it. For
I'm gonna
$200.
fucking rage if people do that in my
If you get
stream.
it done within a
Not
day,
literally,
I'm
but I
down.
will just
If it's quick, I will
Turn the
pay you
fucking-
handsomely.
dono back off if it goes on for longer than like 5-10 seconds.
That'd be cool. Then I can stream, work on exclusive YouTube videos, and have
Speaking
that chat
of-
always going when I'm
I
lonely.
want to make sure that
I guess that would
here
be
we go.
better than a Patreon, right? Like a cult like Patreon would be. I don't know what what
All
if
right,
I did,
I wanna
did make
do
a
a
Patreon.
quick
What kind of
test.
exclusive content can I do? Like I can do a lot more toxic kind of conversations there, right?
a random one.
Yeah. 'Cause sometimes I think if you guys were me, would you expand
Oh.
like to many different platforms to receive like kind of like passive income, or would you focus on 2 platforms? Because it does take like willpower is finite. You will quit, so it's better to focus on 2.
I
than
promised
5.
future man.
The Amaranth business model only
There we
works
go.
if you're
Okay, yeah, it works.
iconic like Amaranth, right? I can make money with OnlyFans, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Circa, if I was you, I would kill myself.
Johnny
Crimson
Cash,
Winston in the
$5.
freaking
Jesus.
GG chat. I'm positive what you said is illegal. And not only am I getting you
Definitely
permanently
not
banned from
illegal.
GGG, I'm calling the police on you, dude. Because if I was to harm myself, you'd go to jail.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Wow.
Yeah,
How the fuck do
that's
people
how that
argue
works.
4chaners are not in this chat. They're clearly in there. Okay. And if I killed myself, it wouldn't be good for you, Crimson, because who would fuck your hoe mom? Right?
This is
She's
what
up
gets
to-
people views. How? It's fuck me, dude.
Contemplating. A bunch of Nazis I'm talking to. I'm a converted Nazi. What a cringe chat, dude.
I mean, not wrong. That part's fair.
Yikes.
Amazing.
DGG is cringier than Twitch chat for once in their life.
Hey,
That guy
wait.
called me a meanie head.
What the hell? It's supposed to
You're a
stop
fucking
playing.
Weirdo, bro.
There we go. What the hell? Supposed to do that automatically.
Hurt
Funny
me, hurt
talking.
me.
Also, I gotta bump
Only
this here.
Steven can get more viewers away from camera. That's how fucking ugly he is.
See, it's like that shit. It's just this, like, what stupid brainless commentary?
fun of
I
my
don't get
day.
it.
All right, let's see. Oh, Twitch chat's chiller than DGG. DGG is a little cringy today. DDG, or is it DGG? Hey, look at me. I play StarCraft all day and League of Legends. Oh, wow. You're so base, dude. Wow. Yeah.
I fucking
What-
don't
so,
like this dude.
I don't get why DGG thinks Twitch chat and Steven's channels are fucking losers and shit. Like, why do you guys hate each other? Why are you saying that? That's mean. Don't do that. Mobile Chad says DGG says that he says DGG is cringe, and then Sad says DGG is projecting.
Shut
So
up,
what?
dumb.
I don't get it, dude. I don't get what's the difference from these chats. They're all different
777
names.
millimeters of mercury.
One is like core audience, the other is
millimeters of
like
mercury. 777
what's Twitch chat known
millimeters
for?
of mercury. 700.
Jesus Christ, dude. I don't know why. I don't know why I stopped playing. I know why. It's annoying. So, Mercury Man, yeah. So I'm a very like punctual person, generally speaking. And so like by default, I stopped playing fucking Splitgate at 8 o'clock. Actually, it was 6 minutes before to make sure that I had enough time to go to the bathroom and come back and, you know, be ready for this. And it's goddamn 8:11. And they aren't even starting yet. I could have played 2 more matches in this amount of time.
7 millimeters of mercury.
Why are people not punctual?
It says no racist in Twitch chat. That's the difference from DGG and Twitch chat. Then I'm staying here, dude. I'm not ever joining that website. What the fuck? That's where the
I'm at a loss, dude. I'm a fucking boomer.
Upset?
like someone in your chat told me to go kill myself.
Well, that's pretty rude. Did you tell them to go kill themselves?
Here comes.
Do you condone that? Or do you want the name of who said it?
I don't care. But you can report them to
You
Twitter if
don't
want.
care that someone in your chat is telling people to go kill themselves?
I don't know. Who said it? What would you say? Did you deserve it?
No. I don't think anyone deserves that, to be honest.
Really? Nobody? Not even Hitler? Are you pro-Hitler now?
Is this an extreme?
I'm just asking. Do you think Hitler should have killed himself, or are you pro-Hitler?
I'm a random dude on the internet.
Hey guys, welcome to Politically
I'm
Provoked,
reading
an
a
interactive
national
podcast where we host
socialist
debates,
movement.
panels, and interviews. If this is your first time joining us, don't forget to hit that subscribe
I
button
gotta
as
go
well as the notification
debate
bell
it.
to
You
stay
gotta-
up to date with all our future
First, you gotta
debates and
ban
panels.
people
We
that
are
are
primarily on
trying
YouTube.
to kill
You can
other
find us on
people. Like,
Facebook,
what's that
Twitter,
about?
Twitch,
I'll
Discord,
work on that,
YouTube,
okay?
TikTok, and Instagram.
Crimson
All the
needs to be
information is in the
banned.
banner below.
Okay.
We also
And
have a link
Steven,
tree you can find in
how
the
much does
description,
that cost?
or you can just
The
search
website.
Politically Provoked and we should pop right
I
up.
don't know.
We
Go
are a
talk to all the
neutral
people that
ground
hate me. They
where
get
we
them made for
across the
free.
political spectrum
We can talk later about it, okay?
without
I love you. Bye. Be
any
careful.
Chat
or just have a
number
casual
one.
discussion
Okay.
in one of our panels. Either way, we try to represent both left and right-wing views on every episode. I'm your left-wing host, Brittany.
You're a
This is
fucking
the right-wing host, Pat. How are you?
Doing great, Britt. How are you?
I'm doing good. All right, so
Fuck
we
you.
have a good debate for you guys tonight. These two have met a couple times, just not really planned, little discussions.
€5.
And
Shut your face.
tonight they're going to
Zerka.
actually have a planned debate. It's going to be on immigration and the little Timmy question. So let's bring on our guests. First up, let's bring on Miyo. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you want to introduce yourself, tell people where you lie on the political spectrum, and where people can find you.
Sure. I'm Miyo. I'm a Christian, conservative nationalist, and you can basically only find me here. I don't really do much else.
All right. Next up, let's bring on Steven, aka Destiny. Come on. Introduce yourself and without a mouthful of food.
Hi, my name is Steven. On the internet, I go by Destiny. I'm a SOCDEM, left-leaning person. Yeah.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Each person can give an opening statement, can be as little as 1 minute, no longer than 5, about the topic and your stance. After that, we'll open up the floor. For those of you watching, if you have questions, tag Politically Provoked who your question is addressed to. There will be a cutoff when we
Hey,
get too
Karl
many
Marx, I don't know what you
questions, so if
said,
want to
but-
make sure to get your question in, get them in as soon as possible. Don't send any troll questions unless it's a super chat, because you're going to take somebody else's question.
Yeah, I'm just going to pretend
So,
you didn't say
when we
anything
do have
because it
a
didn't show
cutoff,
up.
We will only accept super chats after that.
Conservative
After
lad.
the Q&A, we'll do
Gotta love
closing statements and
conservatives.
final
Gotta love
thoughts.
leftists.
So, let's get started with opening statements. Mia, you want to get us going?
Sure. Yeah, for this one, I'd like to tell the story, sort of. A story of a specific civilization and a group of people descendant from the ancient ones.
Here it comes.
I'd like to talk about ancient Greece and how that was in many ways the the first civilization remotely like ours. How they had lots of ideas. They had the great ancient Greek philosophers, even the pre-Socratics. You had Heraclitus and Democritus and people like that. You had Socrates. His best student was Plato. His best student was Aristotle. His best student was Alexander the Great, who captured who conquered half the known world, and then as a civilization that combined with that one that took in the best parts of it and combined it with an imperialism.
Are you tired of clean
with
clothes that just don't smell clean?
a sort of
What if your clothes could stay fresh for
martial
weeks?
order and
Now they
zeal
can.
and
Fucking ad coming in hot.
obvious nationalism. The Romans were obviously, they're quoted all the time as, one of the great civilizations ever known to mankind, an empire that lasted for 1,000 years. And it started as a pagan empire, and then, it's for a while, I think official religion was Judaism, or at least the prevalent one. And then what happened is, starting with the Emperor Constantine, the Christians started to gain major influence in Rome, and now we see the real foundations of all European descendant civilizations that were under Rome before the fall, before the split between the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire. And it seems like since that point we've had many different civilizations, many different ethnic groups from different places. You see, England, Spain, France, Germany. It's all of these civilizations are descendant from Rome and Greece in some way. They share the philosophers. They respect them. They learn about all the ancients, even people they disagreed with, because they thought that the ideas were important. There were great thinkers who came before them, and they respected that. They respected tradition. They respected the ancient knowledge and wisdom. And you can see this play out in their architecture, in all of their cultures that grew side by side, distinct. They all had, many, many differences, and you can see them, obviously, just looking at those cultures, looking at their traditions. But they all had some things in common, being descendant from these mother civilizations, and they still do in many ways today. Now, I'd say that at some point, these civilizations have
This is
largely
fucking dumb.
derailed from this, and they've gone in a different direction, which is, obviously, it's a different. Yeah, I'd have to say a different direction, and they've turned to liberalism, starting with the French Revolution or somewhere around there. Now we see in America specifically today this ancient wisdom is being completely abandoned. We see the cultural, I guess, decay from these mother civilizations, that we no longer respect them. We want to tear down all the statues from history of the great leaders all throughout it, in all of Western civilization. I'm not just talking about slave owners, but the founding fathers of America, people who existed even before America. There are people here now who completely disrespect this and reject the entire history of this civilization. Now, when these separate civilizations all created empires and dominated the known world.
By the way, these empires are gone, right?
They brought order to a lot
This
of
is an
people that didn't
incoherent
have,
monologue.
Infrastructure and things like that. I think in many ways they made a lot of the colonized countries greater than the ones who were next to them, which never were colonized.
Yeah.
And as we see decolonialization, we see that these other peoples who are not descendant from this are rejecting it entirely and going back to their old ways. And when that happens, things don't turn out so well for the people who are descendant from those.
This is going to get worse.
European descendant groups.
Again,
And
from the other brief
for me, I'd like to argue tonight
conversations
that these
he and
civilizations
Destiny have had,
should still exist, adapting in many ways. Maybe,
brain
but
dead.
there's something worth preserving there. I'm expecting Destiny tonight to, get into all sorts of little. Maybe little.
Yeah, it's just such a dumb argument.
Different from American music, like he did before. Maybe quiz me on musical terms, like partials and blues scales or something like that. I think that's all completely beside the point. And maybe I couldn't tell you with the correct terminology the difference between Mexican music and American music, but I can tell you that if you play them both in front of me, I can tell you the difference. And that's what you see today is, a lot of these things like culture, which are very difficult to articulate and describe, they are
Yeah,
they are
culture
visible on
changes,
plain view when you
music
go to different
changes,
places, how
art
these people are
changes,
different. So
industries
I'd like
change.
to get into that a little bit tonight, and I'd like to talk about the future of where this nation is headed, where all of Europe is headed, the future of
And
a
by the
white
way, this guy
minority in the
knows where
United
everything
States,
is headed.
while we have these two
Because he's a
separate
fucking
groups of people,
clairvoyant
that,
oracle.
you know, one descendant from ancient Rome and Greece, and largely categorized by Christendom throughout history, and the people who are not, who see them as invaders, as oppressors, as colonizers,
Correct.
as slave owners, as you know, people who did the Holocaust. I see all this as a major problem, and I think there's going to, you know, there's going to be all sorts of cultural and social conflict that we're headed towards that won't be so good for those people.
Yeah, well, so is America.
Destiny.
I'm sorry. What the fuck is this debate over again? Can I get a quick refresher on that?
Immigration, and you know, little Timmy.
Okay. Jesus. So I think that today, I think that the internet especially, and all the technology around us has kind of led us to be more isolated than I think we have at any other point in human history. Technology was supposed to be the thing that kind of like bridged our worlds together, give us an ability to communicate with each other, and allow this kind of like inflow and outflow of culture and friendship and relationship and communication and all this stuff to happen. And in some ways it has, but I think in other ways it's left people feeling more disconnected or isolated than they have in the past. I think that these feelings of disconnection and isolation are weighing on people, and I think it leads them to try to find these little niche groups where it feels like they have something that they can identify with, because it is no longer with your local communities, or it seems like it's no longer with the local church. So some people, you know, become rabid socialists or communists, and they try to pretend that they're Marxists or whatever, even though they've never read a word of Marx. And other people, unfortunately, you know, look at their skin color, they find white identitarian groups and like, oh, well, we're white, like that can be our thing. I don't want to go back to shitting in the streets. I like playing video games on my computer, and I like all of the modern accessories. And
oh, that's about how
exist
fast I
in
talk
our
sometimes
current day
too.
life. I don't see the need to get rid of any of that. I don't see.
Actually, I have to
need
slow
go back
myself
to-
down.
Usually, people say go back to the 1950s, but I guess now we're talking all the way back to the 400s.
This is something that I think would be a good idea for Destiny to slow down sometimes, because like you just pointed out, people sometimes people just can't follow him, and away it goes. So I think it would help him to slow down a little bit, because he's generally very well informed. I know I have to do that sometimes, because I get animated on stuff, especially when I already know what I'm talking about and I'm like well informed on the issue. Yeah, I know how that goes.
And then I'll more importantly point out that even though you can't identify the problem, or especially because you can't identify the problem, you also have no real prescription. And I think that's kind of one of the saddest things for a lot of these more radical groups is you get a lot of these people that get kind of funneled into these groups where they're like, okay, well, we're white, we got to protect.
Oh
our
yeah,
culture,
no,
what
I
do
know.
we do?
Yeah,
They don't really have any
I mean,
answers
it's
for that.
like
We're not winning legislatively.
what I meant by that, I should have been more clear. Is it's hard to like actually follow and track what he's saying when you're like almost the entire time's focused on keeping up with what he's saying.
In the weeds of these insane online whatever groups where you continue to like exhibit the most unhealthy behavior possible.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real
yeah, I
quick
guess that's
before we
what
get
we'll
into
talk
the
about.
actual meat of
this
this.
conversation.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna let it play.
Sure. Well, the first thing I'd like to say is I'm glad that you openly admit that white people who seek to preserve and sustain any form of their culture and any part of it, they have no representation today. They are largely outnumbered by people who are against that. They don't have any political power, and there's basically no one sticking up for them. And I think that's a big part of the problem I'd like to get into tonight.
Sure. Can you tell me what aspects of white culture do you think need to be represented politically that are not currently represented politically?
Well, it's a good question. What I'd say is that America right now is a lost nation in some ways when it comes to culture, and it has been for quite some time. As you correctly pointed out before, America has been a mixing of different ethnic groups for a very long time now. And even while it was still just the European descendant groups that are all mixing together, even though they had more in common than people from Africa or China or India, or South America, there's still a mixture which is causing
we're kind of like
of a cohesive culture.
Yeah, so
and
we're
it's causing
trailing off
these communities in order to dissolve, like you said, where people are not able to just go out and in the public square or have what I don't know, but like public dances, things like that.
You can go
which
on the public center of public
they
dances.
get to know each other, right?
You can do that all right now. You can do all of this right now. So I'm going to go back and ask the question again.
But people are not for some reason, and that's the question, right?
Yeah, but this is the whole. Yeah, so this is the whole point. So I think there's a lot of interesting conversation that we can have about why people aren't going out publicly anymore. I think there's an interesting conversation to be had about the loss of churches as the kind of centerfold for communities. I think the loss of union culture probably plays into that quite a bit. I think that the hyperfixation on moving to the coast into these like more concentrated cities for jobs, the economic opportunities is probably a reason. I think that technology leads us to be more and more culturally isolated from each other because we connect via the internet now instead of via face-to-face. I think that there are plenty of interesting kind of questions to ask to figure out why we're kind of like more isolated. I don't think the answer is because there aren't enough white people or we're losing our white culture. So I'm going to bring us back one more time and we'll see how long you talk without actually answering this question again. What are some aspects of American culture that you believe aren't adequately represented in Congress? Like what are some aspects of white American culture that you'd want to see represented in Congress and where should they be represented?
Well, it's funny that you would phrase the question that way because it's there's an obvious push in all of
Oh yeah, that's what he does.
Government against what people in critical race theory would call white culture, and they seem very good at describing the differences between white culture and African American culture or Latin culture, and they seem even more interested in making the culture in America like those other ones than what you call white.
So can
culture.
you tell me what do people in critical race theory define white culture as then, if they've defined it? So you can't give me your definition. So how do they define it since you're citing them now?
Yeah, sure. Things like the Protestant work ethic, things like the focus on.
So America is already one of the most overworked nations.
Orientations are, there's an emphasis on the scientific method.
So America,
individualism. There's the holidays. There's the traditions. It's the heroes. It's the shared story of a people that goes back thousands of years. And that's the difference, is that these people, they see themselves as descended from these civilizations. That's the story that a lot of Americans grew up being told is, look, here is the long course of history of your civilization, of your people, and you have you're born into this, whereas other people from other groups, they don't see it the same way. They have a different shared story, and these shared stories are one of the most important parts of culture next to language, which is they see it as these people did all of this and then colonized and oppressed your people, and they see it as a bad thing rather than a good thing. And so I
no.
Well,
wait.
Embracing.
There's definitely something valuable to traditions. Some traditions, okay? Like I can see the value in some traditions bringing family units together and making people generally feel better in terms of mental health and connection to community and all these things. They're not, I guess you can make the argument that they're unnecessary, but they also, they can have a very positive impact. It just depends on the tradition and why we think it has a positive impact and why we think it should stick around, particularly if it may be kept around in lieu of something else.
Happen at all. I think I gave you 4 or 5 different answers of just small examples of white culture. And largely what I'm describing more, I see that you're trying to drag the conversation down into the weeds on like specific parameters or facets of culture. That's like, what's this one thing you want? And we can talk about that all night, but there's something larger than that happening here.
So if you want to do turnabout as fair play, if you want, you can ask me about some more complicated topic that I enjoy, that has many facets to it. I will be able to defend to you every single one of those facets about that particular thing that I enjoy.
Right.
I'm sorry, but I wholesale reject this idea that me asking you about any of these 4 or 5 things that you say are the most important qualifiers of your culture as getting lost in the weeds. With all due respect, these are the weeds that you're running us into, and you're the one that has the inability to defend them. I noticed that you opened the speech up being upset about our last musical conversation. I will remind you once more, the only reason we had that conversation is because you're the one that said that you had the background in music and you were a professional musician and you were the one that wanted to get into that conversation. And we don't have to have that conversation.
Butters, do you follow me on Twitter?
Topic, I am going to ask you questions. Okay, hold on. If you want to go line by line, we can do this. But when you ramble on a monologue, I'm going to respond to every single thing you said. So I'm going to do that. This is why this conversation is already kind of like getting off track,
sure,
right?
Of
so
course.
If you're going to bring up 4 or 5 things that are all part,
for the trees,
I haven't. No, I'm not losing anything, right? Forests don't exist unless trees are in them. Okay, we're trying to figure out if you have any trees at all. That's the problem right now, right? So when you start to say
you're
things,
you're denying that
See,
there's
like, hey, follow me on Twitter.
that exists to white identity
Come on.
or European descendant groups.
You got to help me there too. I need more visibility. All right, help me with the algorithms.
In the United States of America. Wait, are you trying to talk, Brittany?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
No, go ahead. I was gonna.
Okay. In the United States of America, if people were to start asking me where your big cultural divides are, I think that the number one easily would be urban versus rural. That would be my huge cultural divide. And then we could start going down other lines, but in terms of falling down ethnic lines, I mean, firstly, like how you would even begin to define white gets hairy, right? What are we talking about for like mixed race relationships? What about for like a lot of Hispanic people? So like my mom is Cuban, but none of us are really dark. A lot of people that come from Cuba aren't. You've got the whole mestizo versus castizo thing. Like you've got children of like relatively Hispanic looking people that look pretty white. Like this whole idea that you're trying to separate things out as like, these people have this culture and these people have this culture, when it's probably way more regional, and people can tell that. Like this is another thing too, like people can tell just by the jokes you say or the way you sound, like, are you from the East Coast, are you from the West Coast, are you from California, are you from Northern Florida? These like racial lines that you're so obsessed with drawing, I don't think most people even identify across these culturally.
Yeah, I didn't put it that way at all. In fact, I'm not talking about skin color in any way. That's something you brought up. I'm talking
to be
about
clear, you
the
said
shared
mixing a
history
lot of
people.
different ethnic groups. You used that word multiple times. I've written it down on a notepad in front of me. I'm writing that down. So if you
Yeah. Well, so I'll catch you up just a little bit because they've had this like they've had part of this discussion before in their first couple interactions. That basically the whole argument is that Miyo is trying to say because our culture is changing, literally by definition, that is a bad thing, and we need to stop immigration simply because culture is changing. Not because there's any aspect of our changing culture that is inherently negative, but he literally said in one of the conversations that the fact that our culture is changing because of immigration, it is bad. Like, so Destiny's whole point is to say, you can't say that, because it's nonsense. You can't just say change is inherently bad unless you're a literal perfect conservative who thinks like nothing should ever change at all, which is just ridiculous. So, anyways.
Important part of one of the most important parts of culture to me is the shared story, shared history of a people, because a lot of things are downstream from that. The traditions.
Like this whole idea of the shared story and shared culture is fucking dumb, because at this point we are global, right? The planet interacts with the planet at this point. It's not like Americans interact with Americans and Chinese people interact with Chinese people because there's no internet and you can't reach across the world like that. It is a global issue at this point. We are all multicultural. There will be similarities and there will be differences. But like this whole idea that like we need to go back to this, like we need to like keep a single culture thing is just, it's vacuous and stupid because it's not even real.
Technically the same. You would say that?
Yeah, I don't think there's actually a good example of that takes place by virtue of the fact alone that these people have
you can
shared stories. The white guy and the black guy, maybe if you look at just their lives or like what they ate that week or what they've done in the past 10 years, maybe you could say it like that. Like these people have a lot of things in common. They can talk on the same level. They know what they're talking about, things like that. But when it comes to the larger arc of history, these people have completely different stories, and their people groups have completely different stories. And I think that a part of what I'm here to
doing the memorized speech again.
The issue of mashing all of these people together, it denies both of those people in that scenario their historic people's identity, which is important.
Yep. Okay. Good speech. So I'm going to ask you the question again since you seem to be unable to answer it. So if you have a black guy and a white guy, they grow up in the same neighborhood, go to the same schools, listen to the same music and all that shit, would you say that that black person and that white person are ethnically the same thing?
I think I just answered that like exactly. Do you want me to just repeat myself?
I'd like you to answer that question without giving me a speech about like, well, I would say they're culturally similar. I'm asking you because I asked you for a definition of ethnicity, and you gave me a definition I've never heard before. Now, maybe some people use this definition. I'm just curious if you really believe
that's
it.
Used in
So
international
you said
relations
ethnicity
textbooks. You're
had
more than
a.
likely to look
You
up the
said that.
definition of ethnicity. It doesn't surprise me that you don't know it, given that you're totally okay with wiping them out all across the planet.
I've never said anything about wiping anything out.
You know what I mean?
Sure, you're talking about mashing all sorts of people from different historically ethnic groups together, making them both grow up in the exact same way in everything, in some postmodern worldview. Some
It's literally not what he's
constructivist
saying.
idea that we're going to just make everybody all come together in this.
Is
new
every single
identity.
person that went to your high school the exact same ethnicity? Did they become that by going to the same school?
No, not at
Is
all.
every
And,
single
the
person in
people
a
of-
workplace the
people of
exact same
different
ethnicity?
Ethnic groups in my high school all identified with each other. Actually, it's like all the black kids hung out in the same spot all together every single day. They were even there during classes. I'm not sure how it worked.
Cool.
But
So
they,
I'll
they
ask-
hold
yeah.
themselves distinct. It's not something I've done. This
So-
is something people all across the world, all across the planet do. Okay.
And he won't shut the fuck up.
I understand.
go for
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
There's
So
no memorized
it is
speech,
another
man.
memorized
This
speech.
is
Yeah. So
all
I've asked two
fluff.
questions. I haven't gotten an answer on either. So right after about to start, I'll try to do this ethnicity one more time. It should be a simple yes from you if you truly believe the answer you're giving me. So if you have a black guy and a white guy, grew up in the same neighborhood, same shared experiences, same music, same movies, and everything, would you say that these two people are ethnically identical? This black person and this white person are of the same ethnicity. Would you say that?
Yeah, not at all. And the reason for that is what I've been saying all along this whole time is it's a group of people with a shared history. That's one of the most important parts of culture. And I've described it a lot. I mean, you can call it a monologue all you want, but it's very important because a lot of aspects of culture all come downstream from that. The holidays, the heroes,
yeah.
the
So
traditions,
this is actually-
the
Speech again. We're doing the memory.
This is a part of what I like about Destiny is he's so intellectually sharp and experienced with this kind of stuff because he's been doing this for like 12 years that he can literally multitask and still say what you're saying is bullshit. And like I love it.
Yeah, well, then it's interesting that you say that, but yeah, when I give you like exactly the answers to your questions, you're completely dumbfounded as to like how you can possibly respond to that. Because I understand you want the answer. You want the answer to be like, yeah, oh no, it's all about just white people and it's all about race and we should ship everybody else off or something like that. I get that that's the answer you're looking for. That's just not the answer that I have for you. So instead of just keeping on trying to keep this conversation down on this one point on, well, you didn't give me the answer I wanted for ethnicity. You gave me the international relations definition of it.
So
Instead
if you're
of
telling
that,
me,
maybe you can try and move
Another
this
Gish
conversation
Gallop.
I'm trying to move
forward.
wrong. So if you're telling me that a
Because we
black,
have important things to
I understand.
discuss.
So if you're telling me that a black person and a white person can never have the same ethnicity, then it seems like there's some aspect
Correct.
of skin color that's important there, or some genetic aspect that's important there. Can you at least admit that? Or
Well, it's funny that you categorize it according to racial lines, according to skin color especially,
to
because
be clear, you're the one that's done that because you
what I'm talking
repeatedly
about.
told me
You're
that you would
saying-
never
you're
call a
saying
white
that-
and a black person the same ethnicity. You've done that.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out what
you're
you
saying,
mean.
what you're and it has nothing to do with whether they're black or white. That's the thing.
Then why
They
is a black
are
person and a
different
white person
people
can't be?
from
Why can't they be the same
different
ethnicity?
historical ethnic groups who have different stories. The black guy, his story is of his people, not just the story of his life. The story of his people is never going to be.
Yeah, I think your
that
cat's
he's the
probably getting
descendant
dumber
from
too,
these
huh?
colonizers. He's a descendant from a part of Rome. He's a descendant from one of these Roman dependent or descended civilizations.
Wait, how do you know
so
that?
That's never going to be his story.
But you
And-
don't
and
know.
his
You don't know all
story
of
is
these
going to be
people's-
that these people
Yeah.
oppressed his people. These people.
So we're
took
back on the-
especially in
back on the
America,
memorized talking
they took
points
people
again.
onto the slave ships. They put these people in chains. They did slavery.
Still back on the
It's-
memorized talking points.
There's nothing memorized about it, man. It's you can cope all you want saying I'm like I memorized something for this. Like you're not that important.
So
to me,
usually
okay?
when I'm having a conversation with somebody, the way that I can usually tell that they're nervous is it's kind of like when you're doing an essay in high school. And you
No
don't
way,
answer the
that's
questions, so you
cute.
just start writing
Hell
down every
yeah.
single thing you know on the topic, and you hope that you put enough that the teacher like
Well, that's
marks
a
you up
cute
for
way
the...
to categorize it.
Well,
man,
I
but
mean,
you're
that's essentially
asking
what you're doing.
deep,
I'm
deep
just
questions about culture, about history, about ethnicity, and these are not just simple things. If you want to go with, well, culture is just whether whether you're white or black. To me, that's completely
I'm not the
beside
one
the
that
point,
said
because
whether
these
culture was
people
just
are
white or
from-
black.
these
You're the
people
one
are
that
from
said,
different groups.
you're the one that told me that a white and a black person can never be the same ethnicity, and then in the same breath told me it has nothing to do with skin color, when I told you the only difference between these two people is the fact that they're white and black. Maybe they were both descended a long, long time ago. from
Correct.
Romans.
That's
You don't
because
know
he
that.
doesn't know what the
They're
fuck he's
very
talking
young
about, and he's
black
getting
person.
rolled.
Skin color all you like. but
You're
these
the one
people take
doing
the
that, to be
23andMe
clear.
Test, and it's going to say, what ethnicity are you from? What's your ancestors? And it's going to be, what for the black guy, it's going to be Bantu, or
Wait,
or
why would you
Hutu,
bring up
or
why
one
would
of
you bring
these.
up why would you bring up
For the white guy, it's going to be
23andMe?
Spanish, Portuguese,
Yeah.
Anglo, something like that.
So why would you bring up 23andMe for ethnicity when you told me ethnicity was shared culture, religion, language, and art? What does 23andMe have to do with that?
And again, well, you're missing out again on the most important part. I don't know if this is like you're just unable to hear this part, but the shared history, the shared story of a people, and the people from the Congo or from Nigeria or from Ethiopia, they all have a different story going back 1,000 years than European descendant peoples, and they always will, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you mash them all together. It doesn't matter if you tell them, okay, well, we're all going to eat apple pie and whistle Dixie together. It doesn't matter, because they have maybe in their lives, if you are only working with people who can't think in terms beyond their lives, they can't think about history before they were born, that would be something that would work.
So
but that's
again,
not how
to be
people
clear,
work.
like,
that's not how the world works.
I just think it's really funny. It's not funny, actually. It's really frustrating, because I know that you're not giving me what you actually believe. Maybe because we're on a public platform, this is why you hide your face too. When you're talking about like ethnicity, and then you tell me very specifically it has nothing to do with like skin color or genes, and then you're appealing to a 23andMe test. We all know what 23andMe is. So it feels like you're just trying to dodge the question. But we'll move past that, and I'll try to engage, I guess, with whatever I can like dig out of like this shithole you've dug yourself into. So you're talking about like this idea of like shared culture, shared religion, shared language. So let's say that you have like a person from some culture that their like grandparents immigrated to another culture. So now they've had parents that were born in that country, and now they've been born in that country. Like, what culture or ethnicity, we should say, I guess, are they more likely to identify with? The country where they've now existed for 2 generations, or whatever history was in the country they came from?
Yeah, I can answer that question. Actually, I think pretty well with an anecdote, if you'll grant me that. It's so I've had a couple friends.
Jesus
over the course of my
Christ.
life that I used to argue about it, international relations stuff with about all the time. I argued immigration back in my cringe Ben Shapiro days. I argued immigration with a Hispanic friend of mine, a couple of them actually. And it's funny. At one point, I got them really cornered. And they had nothing else to say.
It's actually not impossible to do if people decide that they're going to learn whatever the predominant language is. And by the way, that's already happening, right? There are there are so many major metropolitan cities across the world, like in different countries that have English speaking citizens there. The reason for that is because obviously, America is a very, dominant force globally, and understanding English is going to have benefits basically across the world for the same reason. That's just how it works. So at some point, there will be basically a universally shared language. I mean, at least in very large part, just out of this is what's naturally going to happen. Again, globalism is going to increase. It's not going to decrease. We're not going to go backwards and start segregating and stop trading with one another and stop fighting with one another. This is just how the world works at this point with the technologies and the industries that we have. There's no getting away from it.
History books and tell all of these people, none of that happened, and then raise them all in the same cultural conditions, all in the same way, and say, we were all just born just now, and there were no differences between the people historically. That's fine. Maybe you could make something like that happen inside of a lab or something like that. But the fact is that no matter what this guy, what how he's raised, what his culture is being raised in America, he will always identify with the people from his historical ethnic group. That's why I brought up the 23andMe thing.
Okay, so
it shows that these people are from distinct ethnic groups historically. They have different stories.
For every one anecdote you can provide, I can give you like a million anecdotes in the opposite direction. So I mean, like if you're gonna tell me like things that your friend said, I don't really know how I can ever argue with that. I'll give a really common Asian American experience that one of the most cringe things that Asian people deal with, especially Asian women, is when white guys go up to them and they're like, "Where are you from? Where are you really from?" And they're like, "Bro, I'm American. I don't speak fucking Korean or Japanese or Chinese or whatever," right? Like they're Americans because they were born here. They speak the language. If you heard them on a microphone or a headphone, you wouldn't know that they were from any other fucking part of the world besides probably the West Coast, like San Francisco or LA. I have never in my life, and I'm willing to bet that I probably have more friends that are non-white than you. I have never in my life heard a non-white person that is the children of people that were in the United States say, "Those aren't my people." And now you hang out in very far white, well, white and right circles, so it might be the case that you are like talking to a lot of like literal ethnic identitarians, but whatever you are describing is so fucking far off the norm, I can't hardly even engage with that hypothetical. As somebody that's dated Hispanic, as somebody whose family is... Hold on, you gave your whole pretty speech about apple pies, okay? So as somebody that has dated Hispanic people and Asian people, as somebody that has a half-Cuban family on my mom's side, I have interacted with... I have never in my life heard somebody say those aren't my people. That is just... So I'm gonna circle back. Yeah. So I'm gonna circle back. Do you remember the question that I asked you even before you just rattled off that anecdote that you had ready for this?
You've been asking a lot of good questions tonight, man.
Yeah, and I can't get an answer on any of them. So my question is that if you had somebody over here in the United States in general, and they're like grandparents and parents live here.
That's probably good for your cat.
They know the language, they know the culture, so that means they listen to the music, the TV shows, they know our religions, our schools, and all of that. Do you think they're more likely to identify with this American culture or with wherever their grandparents came from?
I think that for people like that have been taken out of their own historical culture and raised up into this new one, it can be confusing. You see people choosing.
Now, what about the people who decided to move to a different area on their own, not like being taken and put in a different culture?
Some people who identify as American, they love the American dream and they love this country. You know, we could pull up videos of people talking about that, and I understand that, but the problem is that that's not largely what's happening anymore. Now and I think it has something to do with the change in the demographics of where immigration is coming from.
Yep.
And now
we're back into another memorized talking point about where people are immigrating from. It has nothing to do with the question at all.
Yeah, it does actually, because it's about these people are coming from previously colonized places, and they have a different story, man. It's I don't know what to tell you. Their historical ethnic stories.
I don't understand when you keep saying story. What story do you think you have?
Well, my story is that my ancestors arrived in America before the Mayflower did. Okay, before the Pilgrims, they were driven out by of Europe. Well, not driven out. My ancestor's brother-in-law accused his wife of being a witch. Okay, and she wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Tim Hortons is like a fucking Denny's.
He left for
you know
America,
what I mean?
And he made it to Jamestown before.
Who cares?
Yeah, so can you tell me?
Have been here ever since.
Can you?
On the other side, my
they serve the
ancestors
same
are
food
descended from the Pilgrims themselves. Okay. They've been here since the foundation of this country, and before that, they were in England for thousands of years. That's the story of my people, of my ancestors, and I don't share that in common with my Hispanic friend, and I never will.
Can you tell me what aspects of their culture you live out today that are unique or
maybe
from other white people that might not have?
If you so choose to learn a little bit of the French,
more recently came
they put on the fucking boxes and shit. Yeah, probably beneficial, depending on the region.
Because you have those particular ancestors.
Well, it's funny. First of all, I just want to say it's funny that now we're just two white people when it seems like every time I talk to this guy, he brings up that he's like Hispanic or whatever. But
I said I'm half descended from Cubans. I don't know if you consider Hispanic or not. I consider myself white.
Okay, so
unless I'm applying for student aid.
Cuban immigrant. But
so what aspects of your ancestors' culture do you inherit today? You still live out today that are unique from normal American culture?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, and really it speaks to the fact that, as I said before, our culture in America is currently in a sort of a funk. We're in a lost place where we have many different cultures mixing
Okay, yeah,
together.
gotcha. So you don't have an answer for that. So let's go all the way back then to the very first question.
I don't have an answer.
You don't have the answer to that. Yeah.
You're asking about a specific Anglo culture descendant thing, which is like. A lot of the European cultures, they had many things in common, and they might
used
have,
to, yeah.
slightly different, traditions, cultures, holidays, different heroes from their places. Things
This is
like
fucking
that.
embarrassing.
But yeah, I don't identify as Anglo, right? I don't identify as someone from England. I have no
That doesn't make it necessary, but okay.
to England itself.
So the correct answer is, so we don't identify with cultures of the past. There might be some traditions that we inherit, but largely our current culture is generally shaped by the culture that we're grown into. So a third generation immigrant born in the United States is not going to
the culture from the past. I wouldn't say that even a little bit.
Sure. So I understand.
Obviously descended from Rome, and again, it's
descended from Rome. Yeah.
We may have. You could say, okay, what aspects of Anglo culture are you living
in
your daily life? But we have all of these traditions, man. Like Thanksgiving, there's something that the Anglos did.
I don't know. Well, maybe. I mean,
part in this. We have
many
such cases of these types.
I'll defer to your knowledge, I suppose.
Wait. Thanksgiving, did that come from Rome? Is that what you're saying?
Well, then, yeah, I guess you might want to learn French.
Not at all. What I've said is that these cultures have developed as descendants from Rome and Greece, and they've taken on their own holidays, their own heroes, a different story.
Okay, now we're back into the memorized speech. Go ahead.
Yeah, well,
the heroes, the apple pie, the shared history.
Here's what I'm getting at. Yeah. What I'm getting at is that America is lost in a way in terms of culture right now, and I think that we need to forge a new culture that's based on.
Now we need to forge a new one.
Just as the Romans did. There wasn't a culture before them that they returned to.
What?
And somebody might have said, well, what specific things, what's a precise thing about music that you want in order to.
I haven't pushed you on super ultra precise anything. I'm just you literally. All of this stuff.
You were quizzing me on music notes and blues scales.
So the reason I asked you that prior, I asked you that prior because you told me you were a professional musician. I didn't know that you would have the audacity to completely and totally fabricate your history in front of somebody that's actually been a musician.
Now, first of all, the definition of professional means you got paid to do it, which I did. Okay, so I was a professional.
That's great that your mom paid you and your friends to play for her fucking friends at a wedding once. Okay,
I was at public venues and stuff like that. I played jazz. I played the violin.
Okay. We don't want to do this. Listen, you've already taken the biggest L a man can ever take on this topic. We don't need to revisit it, okay?
Yeah, we don't need to rehash the music thing, but I'll just tell you, man.
The problem I'm running into is that, you seem, and I guess this is, at the end of the day, this is kind of my problem.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Have all these strong
be easy then.
feelings about stuff that is just so amorphous and intangential. You don't know what your old culture was. You don't know what your current culture. Okay, hold on. You've done your prepared speech 15 times, Rubio. Okay, slow down. All right. So you have you've got all of these kind of.
Well, sure, but I think it's a good exercise.
Thing you said. I'm not asking you to give me the exact definition of blah 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 blah. I'm just asking for
in many ways. I'm just not giving you the answer that you're looking for. We obviously have traditions, holidays, heroes.
No. The answer that he's looking for is an answer.
Obviously, we don't inherit culture from the past. It's absurd on its face. It's ridiculous. You can't tell anyone from any other culture that at all. In America, we are.
The problem is that I'm just trying to ask you.
Cultures put together, and I think that we should take the best values that we can and forge a new culture that's based on.
We're back in the memorized speech.
Becoming
Jesus
great
Christ.
and excellence. Things like that.
Yeah.
We should be embracing this stuff.
Okay, so just one more time. Sorry if this is really offensive. Can you give me one example of a ritual or a tradition or something that you mean when you talk about your family's past or something
My family specifically, no, but from American history, obviously.
No, you didn't say you had American history. You talked about your family specifically fucking coming from Rome and living in England for thousands of years. So I want to know.
Yeah, and what do you think happened after that, man? My ancestors participated
quite literally
in every single major American event all throughout our history. My dad still has a cavalry saber from the Confederate side in the Civil War. All right, so I do have a lot of story.
A memento doesn't mean you share the fucking culture and history of your fucking grandpa.
Civil War, who just arrived here, who don't respect the ancient civilizations that we derive from, much less the one which they've come into here. And they disrespect it so much that they say that they want to tear down the institution.
Back to the memorized speech, tear down the statues,
well, that's
back
what's
to the memorized
happening,
talking points. Yeah. Okay. So I just think it's very funny that, and this is very rare that I can like demonstrate an argument in real time. So because you are a
right, sounds good.
immigrant, you have no idea where you came from. I could show you a 23andMe that actually is completely contrary to your entire history, and you would actually have no idea, because it sounds to me like you haven't inherited anything. So when I talk about like a cultural tradition, right? So half of my family is Cuban. So my sister had a quinceañera. Okay, this is like a Spanish celebration when a girl turns 15 years old. Or something that I went through religiously was my my not seven. There are like 4 or 5 holy sacraments in the Catholic Church. So things like your first communion, or things like your confirmation, or things, you know, your early baptism. So these are examples of traditions that I was looking for, and I don't even like this shit, and I can give you a few of my own, but it sounds like you have nothing. So we're gonna move way past this, and then I'm gonna go all the way back to one of the first questions I asked you. I don't know how you can possibly answer this question though. What type of quote unquote white culture do you feel like is lacking in representation when it comes to like the legislature? So in Congress, like what are some aspects of white culture where you're like, fuck, we don't have this represented? Because all the other stuff you named before, like the scientific method, I think all of our academic institutions work off of that. You mentioned like the work ethic. I'm pretty sure Americans are the most overworked people in the world. I'm just trying to figure out like what aspects of American culture aren't represented like in your eyes in the forefront of like American politics or culture.
Yeah, well, so it's you know, it's funny that you say that, like that's something I said, when it's something that you said. Actually, you're the one who said that white people have no representation in government for people who want to preserve their culture. White people have no representation in the media or in widespread popular belief. They have no representation for their historical cultures on social media, anything like that. That was the point that you brought up, and so it's I just agreed with you there. Okay, and what I'm saying is that these, not just the culture, the institutions, the civilization, its history, they're all under attack, and they're under a cultural attack from people who think it's all bad, and they think it's all wrong. It was wrong from its inception, and it's evil still today, and it all needs to be torn down along with the people who built it. And that's what I have such a problem with, and that's why I keep going off like this.
Yeah.
You know,
so for the fifth time, I'm going to ask that question again. I don't know why you keep trying to like reverse Uno this on me. So I wrote this down because you ramble a lot. Although at this point you've repeated yourself 5 or 6 times, so I remember a lot of it. So you said,
oh, right.
America is a lost nation when it comes to culture.
Question.
Right? So you said America is a lost nation when it comes to culture. Now, I inferred from that, and I could be wrong, correct me wrong, I inferred from that you feel like there's some important aspect of our culture that is either gone or in the process of being removed. So I asked you, what is some aspect of white American culture that you feel like doesn't have good representation anymore? You feel really strongly about this, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, so, well, that was a good memorized statement, but you know, let's go with the family structure. The nuclear family is currently under attack at all sorts of levels. It's you know, you see another media article about it every single day. We don't see government programs that are trying to benefit people who want to start families. In fact, we see the opposite, and largely from especially the calls of people on your side are trying to say things like the nuclear family is bad. I saw an article the other day, I think it was the New York Times, that said Corona is destroying the nuclear family, and maybe that's a good thing. Okay, we see the LGBT crowd who are railing against the nuclear family and its history, and they're saying that that's all bad, it's all oppression, it's patriarchal, you know, things like that. And so that's a great example of one that I would say is it's better for the people, it's better for the children, better for the man and wife, and it's better for the civilization at large as each individual chooses this.
So when you say that like the nuclear family is under attack, so I'm just going by stuff that I see. So right now, if you get married in the United States, you're incentivized through tax structures to have like a wife or husband because of the married filing jointly status. And you also get paid a decent amount of money right now via the both the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit for like having a child. Like in what ways do you feel like we are actively discouraging people from like having like 2 parents in the house today, or like in what ways is that happening?
Yeah, well, I'd say a big part of the nuclear family structure was that a man would provide for the family and the mom would raise the children. Whereas we see now the state
This
and,
is a
and all of the
definition
media
of
and
nuclear
everybody on
family.
our
This is
side
not answering the
pushing
question.
for that to be abolished, that to be dissolved, and not, unattainable for men and women in the new vision of this idea where the state takes care of your kids. It raises them in daycares and schools and teaches them the state propaganda, whatever their version of history and current events is at the time.
So I don't know of any, like, there might be state-ran daycares. I've never heard of that. There are state schools. It's probably good that we send our kids to schools.
Yeah, no, what I'm talking about is that the state is at the very least not combating this push against the nuclear family.
There it is.
In ways that it obviously could. You could have more like incentives to have children. You could discouraging women
It's
from
not
being in the workforce propaganda.
No way.
Women staying home with their children.
The nuclear family's under attack because we're not incentivizing it enough. Holy fuck.
Place in schools, which is teachers paid by the government. Maybe the president isn't ordering it, but this is happening in these places. Women are raised to believe that being a mom is like demeaning. It's like you're not a successful, independent career woman or something like that, and it's demeaning motherhood, and it's making it lose its value to women in their eyes, and they see themselves as unsuccessful if they were to settle for that rather than a career and travel.
So do you think that women should be discouraged from going to college?
Discouraged? I don't know if I would go that far, but I think that would bring about a better result in terms of the nuclear family.
Sure. So let me ask again in a different way, without you trying to, because you're weaseling a lot. Okay. So do you think it would be better for society if women were discouraged from going to college?
Better for society in some ways, definitely.
Why do you keep why do you keep weaseling? I'm just asking you like a clear.
What do you mean weaseling?
Well, when you say in some ways, so in what ways would it be better and what ways would it be worse?
Every single point.
So talk me through the positives and negatives, and then at the end of it. No, we're not getting into the weeds. I get so upset. Why do you keep saying we're getting into the weeds? Anytime I ask you to defend a single point, if you want to just ramble off your prepared speeches, you can do that. You can do that when I'm not here. Or you can go do that on your own stream or your own YouTube channel. Don't get upset.
That's under attack. I talked about the nuclear family.
Now we're going.
You asked
the
about
prepared
the
speech.
You asked about the
prepared
state,
speech.
And, it's the state. A prepared speech about what you talked about. Everything's a prepared speech tonight.
It's a prepared speech because you're running around the question because you're uncomfortable answering. I feel like I can play both sides of this argument better than you can. That's where we're at right now. Okay, that's how far behind you are in this conversation. So I'm just asking you.
I think that speaks to a misunderstanding of what I'm saying, man. Because I've talked about the nuclear family. I've talked about state incentives in order.
Speaks to your lack of intelligence and knowledge and ability to speak on the issues that you bitch about.
The government is the one running these schools. They could be incentivizing or making teachers talk about the virtues of motherhood and talk about ways in which people can still build a nuclear family.
Okay, so we're talking around a bunch of random shit. So my question was, do you think holistically, now if you want, you can talk about the pros and cons. I just want an answer at the end. Do you think holistically it would be better if we discouraged women from going to college?
Well, given the state of the universities today, I'd say so. Just by virtue of the one statistic alone, that 90% of divorces involving college-educated women are initiated by the woman. Okay,
I wonder why. Because she learns a sense of fucking self-sufficiency and doesn't need your dumb fucking ass.
Why that is exactly, but it's that's why. It's like maybe that's not the best way to combat that, but it would combat it in
Jesus
some ways.
Christ!
Family
okay, cool. I got you. I'm good. Okay, yeah, we got this. Okay, so
you can ask me these gotcha questions all night about like you hate women or something like that.
They're not.
But I want to
okay.
get to the heart of the issue.
Okay.
So
Here, can I wait? Hold on. I'm not trying to ask you gotcha questions. Can I tell you how you should have answered this question, and maybe you can do better on these debates in the future if we ever talk again. Okay. So the answer that you should have given,
man.
It's okay. That's fine. Okay. I've debated enough of your type to know how you should answer this if you were educated on the topic. Okay. So the answer should be yes. We probably should discourage women from going to college because when women enter college, a lot of bad things happen to the historically understood dichotomy of man versus woman. Men are now competing against women for earning wages, which they shouldn't be because it's an attack on their masculinity and it's an attack on the family structure, and it discourages women from starting families until far later in their life to where they might be completely discouraged from doing so, and it upsets the natural balance of the household where a man should be in charge of being the alpha, the breadwinner, the decision maker, and the woman the caretaker.
Fuck. Oh. I don't know why it does that, but here we are.
Brought up
Oh
how
my
bad
god.
it is.
You didn't say
Brought up
almost
how
definitely
bad
yes.
it
You
is
said
for
it
the nuclear-
depends. There's
the
pros
nuclear
and
family
cons and blah blah
institution.
blah. Yeah.
I've talked about how bad it is for
Jesus.
in many ways, and so it's like, yeah, I've talked about the divorce rates. I talked about a lot of reasons. Just because I didn't give the exact reasons that you wanted, I think that they're largely tangential and they're all connected.
Yeah. Okay. So now that I've given you the argument for this. So now we move on to the second aspect of this, and this is what I said initially: is that even if you are able to identify some sort of claim, now I ask you, what are you going to do about it? In what world can you exist in where women have had the ability to go to college and work jobs, and now you're going to take that from them? Can you walk me through what type of policy proposal or something that you would start doing that would get women out of college?
Yeah, no, I'm not advocating for any specific policy right now at all. I think that if people were made aware of the way
No
that things
joke.
are in contrast to the way that things used to be when civilization was thriving rather than decaying, I think people would try and act differently, and that would play out in all sorts of different ways throughout society.
Okay,
I think
so
that we could see major
yeah.
cultural shifts from people understanding these.
Okay, in that
Now
case,
again,
yeah. So
I don't want to
wait.
get caught up in a music
The
discussion about men and
prepared
women in
discussion.
universities right now seems to be the
Yeah.
new one. What I want to talk about
Mhm.
is the future of a white minority in America when all of these things are happening. So we've demonstrated now how
We haven't
the
demonstrated
culture
anything.
is
Yeah,
under,
so
how the culture is under attack in some ways.
Why don't you explain to people that don't know who Little Timmy is? Because a lot of people are asking who Little Timmy is.
That's what I've been trying to get to. So I'm
Right.
glad that we can, abandon the
having to
women in
defend any of your prior
question.
points. Yeah, my bad, dude. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
So I have one more prepared speech for you tonight, Destiny. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is what many are talking about these days. This is the Little Timmy question. Okay, the TQ some might say. So Little Timmy is a child, hypothetical child, who's living in America in an inner city 40 years from now. Okay, and Little Timmy is alongside all of his classmates. He's being taught this critical race, this version of history through the lens of critical race theory, where it's white people, they colonized everybody, and they were cruel in so many ways, and their civilizations did slavery just like everybody else did, and white people came and they brought slaves over, and they did chattel slavery, and they did Jim Crow and the 3/5 law and the Holocaust.
Hey,
And
welcome
white
back.
people, Richard
Holy
Nixon,
brain
Donald
dead, you
Trump,
missed
and,
some more dumb
white
shit.
people are trying to build the wall, and they're all racist. All their institutions are racist, and all their laws are racist, and they all benefit white people in some white supremacist way, and that's why all the institutions, all of the culture, everything has to be torn down, along with the people who built it. Now, Little Timmy is being taught some dumbed down version of this in his class, let's say in 5th grade, along with all the other kids, and because it's a future of white minority, which nobody denies is going to happen now at this point. Joe Biden said it himself. Little Timmy is going to be the only kid in his class, the only white kid in a class of a bunch of Hispanics, blacks, non-whites, Asians, Indians, and they're all looking around, and they're all looking at him saying, this was your people that did this to us. And he feels alienated. And he's not they don't have this shared culture where they're brought up in the exact same conditions, liking the same things like Destiny would like you to believe. They have different stories in their heads. Their story is, look what little Timmy's ancestors did to our ancestors. And you know what? He has to answer for that. And I believe that if that's the case, this is not going to play out too well for little Timmy in his classroom. And so I'm curious, the last time that I talked to Destiny, he said on stream, we could clip it if you want. He said, I guess I have no real way to combat this argument. I have no way to argue against this hypothetical.
Oh, no
And,
way.
so,
what a
maybe we'll
bitch.
argue that
Wait
it's
for
not
it.
going to happen. But other than that,
Wait for it.
Destiny seems to refuse to provide any solutions for this very real issue, which is almost definitely going to happen.
So listen to that question. Destiny has no solutions for this real issue that maybe will happen. I can't solve a problem that doesn't exist yet. Also, why does it matter that Lil Timmy is white? I thought that you said that ethnicity didn't have to do with skin color.
Yeah, and by white, I'm generally using the people who are under attack from critical race theory as the people who built all of this racist stuff. So we can just go with that for now. White is just a one-word way to describe
Well, I mean, your situation is what is known as an anecdote that does not necessarily explain, the entirety of culture shift and all that. But again, I get your point. What the hell, dude? Why is this happening? And in part, you are correct for the record.
Likelihood that we're all just kind of like more mixed race in the future, rather than all of us like breeding down these hardcore racially segregated lines.
You could say that may be the case in like 1,000 or 2,000 years from now. But the fact is, even though you could say that, interracial marriages are going up, it's still like 90% of marriages or relationships in America are intraracial. They're within the same race, and so it's like less
So
than
8.
Does that not tell you something?
Yeah, so 8.4% of current marriages.
Does that not tell you something about the melding of culture and the shift of culture over time? If people are literally choosing to enter into interracial, which obviously means intercultural relationships.
Going to happen
The fuck?
within a couple of decades. I do see that as being the case, especially because it seems like all non-white groups seem to identify with their.
This is
their
fucking
origin,
brain dead. I gotta go to the bathroom again. I'll be right back.
They hyphenate their name. They say, they don't say I'm an American. They say I'm a Hispanic American.
Yeah, so I just want to echo this. And maybe we just come from different backgrounds. I do not have any Asian American friends, and I live in LA, and I'm friends with like the fucking Asian streamer house that say, "Oh, I am Asian American." Yes, those people don't exist. They're like, bro, like, I'm not from Korea, I'm from fucking LA. Or people that live in San Francisco. Asian Americans, like even second generation immigrants, like don't say this shit, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm Japanese, I'm Korean. No, they say like, I'm American.
Yeah, they don't say I'm Japanese, I'm Korean. They say I'm an Asian American. They do identify as such, especially when they're under collective attack. This whole Stop Asian Hate thing that was going all summer or whatever. It's like that is who do you think that's referring to? It's a specific group of people. It's not all Americans, right? It's Asian Americans.
So do you think that like do you have any real argument, or do we really just have to argue over like Lil Timmy in 2040? Like,
oh yeah, I mean you can joke around that it's not a real argument all you want, but in 20 years from now, according to all the trends, this is where it's headed.
What trends? Wait, what trend? What do you mean by trends?
Facts, okay? The fact one is that even Joe Biden says that whites are going to become a majority minority in America by 2040, okay? Fact two is that this critical race theory stuff is getting out of control. I don't care about Vosh's highfalutin academic version of it that somebody's talking about in a university somewhere. I care about what's happening in all the media, in all the institutions. It's happening in the military, in Lockheed Martin, and it is happening in schools, even in grade schools. They're teaching this stuff, some lighter version of it, and it's not getting across to people like, oh, this is just an academic way to view history and blah blah blah. They're seeing it as like, they're saying all white people are racist.
Yeah.
All white people
so
are
I know that
racist.
yeah. So we suffer from recentism biases where we think that like the world is always falling apart because it's the only world we know. Like, people have argued over what we ought to teach in schools for a long fucking time. You've got Fahrenheit 451, you've got book burnings, you've got conservatives and liberals alike trying to ban books from certain schools. Like, we've had debates over curriculum and how we ought to educate ourselves on the history of this country for a long time. I don't think that people are talking about doing this like critical race analysis in fucking kindergarten classes.
Can you explain to people what critical race theory is?
Well, there's two versions of critical race theory. So my understanding of critical race theory is that it kind of like split off, I think, from like critical legal theory, where it's just anytime you look at a particular problem, you are able to like pick up like a certain framework through which to view it. So critical race theory will look at like American problems through a more racial lens to see if there's like some insight that can be gleaned there, like broadly speaking. And then you can go more in depth on like like how do they approach studies, what are their epistemic values, which is separate stuff. But then there's like the conservative version of critical race theory is when black people all learn to like hate white people and how white people are evil, basically. But none of the conversations about critical race theory are usually about critical race theory. It's usually some like insanely drummed up conservative strawman of it, where it's just teaching like how evil white people are constantly, basically.
Sure. Okay. So he gave his preferred definition of critical race theory, what he'd like it to be, and talked about a right-wing boogeyman. I'd like to give you the actual definition of critical race theory. Here it is, according to Britannica. It says critical race theory, intellectual movement and loosely organized framework of legal analysis, is based on the premise that race is not a natural, biologically grounded feature of physically distinct subgroups of human beings, but race is a socially constructed, culturally invented category that is used to oppress and exploit people of color. That's what race is, they say. Critical race theorists hold that the law and legal institutions in the United States are inherently racist insofar as they function to create and maintain social, economic, and political inequalities between whites and non-whites, especially
literally reading.
African Americans. So that is what that is the Britannica definition of critical race theory. Unless you're going to say that Britannica is some right-wing, far-right boogeyman white supremacy platform, that's the one I'd like to go with. Not whatever Bosch says it is,
So
or whatever you'd like it to be, no conservative drummed-up boogeyman.
So
okay.
Two questions. So one, how did your definition contradict with mine at all? And then two, what part of that definition do you think is bad or damaging?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as far as how it contradicted yours, well, you talked about how it's just like nice to view some things through the race of land.
He specifically said there are two different actual definitions of CRT.
What it is. And as for the second question, why is that important?
So when I said, to be clear, when I said it's nice, I'm just saying that it's nice to have different tools by which we can analyze history. I don't mean nice as in good. Maybe I should have been more specific there. I think everybody knew what I meant. But the definition that the Britannica gave sounds more or less in line with what I said, just a little bit more precise.
Okay,
but we can talk about that definition. Yeah, we can agree on that definition. That's fine. So what parts of this definition do you take so much issue with?
Yeah, well, it's not an issue I take with the definition itself. It's an issue I take with how this is playing out today in the real world. And so how
you need to tell me with that definition. You're telling me you agree.
Yeah, it's like it's like thinking critically.
So there are no parts of that definition that you disagree with? You agree that race is a socially constructed category? You agree that there are systems of oppression that serve to divide white people and black people in the United States? You don't agree with?
Oh, no. I'm not saying. I'm saying I don't disagree that is the definition of critical race theory. We can agree on what the definition of it is, and then we can debate, the whether it's good or bad or what the issues are.
Yeah. So what aspects of that?
Again, I'd like to say that it's really. It's the way that it's playing out pragmatically in our society, in America today, right now. Not just some definitional, what I disagree with some idea here, or a little part of this definition. We're seeing anti-white hatred all over the place, all over America.
Okay, so let's try to do this one thing at a time. I know you probably got a whole memorized speech of all the things you hate about CRT. So give me one example.
I must have a really good memory, huh?
Well, it's just because you probably rant about the same things every single day, right? So what is one or two things that happens as a result of CRT that is one, because of CRT, and two, should be eradicated? Go.
Yeah, what's one of these things that's happening because of CRT? Okay, there's a lot of people talking about this Nike commercial, mostly leftists saying they disavow it or whatever.
So you think the Nike commercial happened because of CRT?
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the things which the BLM movement is based on.
Whoa! Why are you jumping? Well, okay, you're doing this.
No, I'm not
jumping
again.
Okay, so let's focus on one. Wait, no.
It's not.
I don't want you to get 5 seconds to name as many things as you can. I just want to ask you. I'm just asking you very simply for just one example that we can talk about. Don't name one, realize it's stupid, and then try to jump immediately to another thing mid-sentence. So give me one thing that you're talking about. So you brought up a Nike commercial. Now I'm realizing you probably realize that sounds stupid, so you want to move on from that.
I haven't seen the Nike commercial. That's why I said other people bring it up.
Okay,
but what I'd like to say.
So for you, then.
So we want to go by the definition, okay? Critical race theorists hold that the law and legal institutions in the United States are inherently racist. Yeah, I have a problem with that because what's the answer to that?
He's back to generalities.
They believe they're being taught it's racist against them. What do they want to do? They want to overhaul it, tear it down. They want to completely change it so that the opposite is taking place. And so it's I have a huge problem with that, given that that's not going to turn out well for me or little Timmy.
Okay. I don't know how. I don't even know where we went with this.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm not talking about little Timmy.
I can tell, man.
So
I can tell you're confused, just like you
Fair
were
enough.
the first time I brought it up.
Yeah,
And I know
no,
that.
no,
as
hold
you
on.
said
It's not
before, you
about
have
me
no real way
being
to combat
confused.
this argument. That's why you want to deny that it exists. Talk about definitions all night. You know, you want to.
Let me give you. Let me try
talk
to
about little
Okay.
examples.
So this is irresponsible of me because I'm unintentionally. I think I'm helping you because maybe you'll take some of this to heart. So let's say that somebody's asking me, okay, Destiny, you say you have so much problems with this particular framework or theory. Can you tell me why? Okay, so I might say I have a problem with the extreme populism that exists right now on the right, especially under people like Donald Trump. The reason why I don't like this extreme version of populism is because I think it leads him down roads where he's giving talking points that make it sound like you need to trust him over everything else, including institutions. The reason why I don't like it when people doubt institutions is because they start to believe in crazy things like QAnon. And the reason why I don't like it when people believe in crazy things like QAnon is because they start to doubt descriptive reality like who won the election, and it leads them to do things like rioting on January 6th in the Capitol. So that's a very clear dialogue tree from like, I don't like this, it plays out like this because of this and this. So that's the kind of answer that I'm looking for from you, okay? Not like, I don't like CRT because some people say that there are Nike commercials and I haven't seen that commercial, but BLM does some bad things, and not that, but like in the minorities or the whites in the future are gonna be this thing where little Timmy is in a classroom and he's getting bullied by all of these children, and that's not the kind of future that I wanna be raised in. I wanna be more like my uncle whose cousin was drowned for being a witch. That's the kind of answer you're giving me, right? You're tying together a whole bunch of like random things. You sound like you're out of breath, like on fucking crack in a car about to crash in the parking lot, okay? So, very clearly, let's just take a deep breath. Okay, so all I'm asking, I'm not trying to do a gotcha. I genuinely, by this point in the debate, I have literally no idea what the fuck you think about anything because you haven't given me any real answer on anything.
I can tell that
so
this is all
I'm asking very simply, all I'm asking very simply is like, what is like an aspect of CRT? Because at first I wanted to talk about the definition, and then you pulled me off. You said, no, man, I want to talk about the pragmatic. Okay, so what is an aspect of CRT that leads to something pragmatically bad? What is that pragmatically bad thing? That's not, I guess, the Nike commercial. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up Little Timmy in the first place.
So Little Timmy doesn't exist.
A good example.
Yeah, Little Timmy doesn't exist. You understand that, right?
Little Timmy does exist. There's already white kids who are growing up in minority classrooms where they're being taught this stuff, and you see videos on social media all the time of black kids like beating up on the white kid. They call them racist. You have black people attacking white people in stores and lying and saying they said the N-word, and they get a pass because it would be a hate crime if you said the N-word or something like that. So it's like, yeah, I see this happening all the time, all throughout society, and Little Timmy is real already in this world. Now, I think it's funny that you can't talk on level of a hypothetical future, which is the most likely to happen, because you're like, well, we can't address problems if we're not already currently facing them today, right now. And I think that speaks to either that you're trying to deny this future, which is the most likely future we're going to face, or
by what fucking metric? Yeah. That's fair. Hey, thank you for sticking around and learning absolutely nothing with me. I think it's at least productive to understand how people respond to these issues. And this is fucking embarrassing, but at least now we understand this is how some people respond to these issues. So thanks for hanging out. I know, my community so far has not been too interested in the more like, learned type of stuff that I do, but I enjoy it. And I think we need, a healthy balance of video games and fun, and also learning some shit and not being fucking dumb, terrible people. So thank you for sticking around, and good night. We'll catch you next time. I'll be on tomorrow, by the way.
I don't want to give you any more answers. I'm sorry, I've already given you like a couple pretty good ones. It should be pretty easy for you to find. I'll give you one more actually. There was a math book that was released that was kind of under some guidance of like some very race-related shit that was incredibly fucking cringe, saying that like black people need to learn math by running around outside and it's different than white people. So that was like a good example. And if you read that math book cover to cover, you'd have like a million examples to attack me with. I read it, I said it was cringe and stupid. That doesn't mean I have to hate everything related to CRT or everything related to right. I can point that out. But the fact that you're not familiar with like a single example aside from a Nike commercial that you yourself admit that you haven't watched is like kind of cringe, bro. Like, I don't know why you're so mad about all these topics if you don't fucking know anything about them.
That was just the first thing that came to mind, and that's largely because
generally in arguments, the first thing that comes to mind, the first thing that comes to your mind in an argument is generally the strongest point of argument that you have. That's usually what.
No, it's because somebody just said it, like just the other day. Believe me, all of your clones.
Okay, well then give me an example then. What's something that CRT? What's something we've gotten from CRT that's really bad then? Give me another example.
Okay, well here's something. Here's the Wall Street Journal opinion article. In California, 2 + 2 = 4, may be thought to be racist. Math is racist now. And so it's like, yeah,
that's a reference to exactly what he just fucking said.
You could dive into that one little example, and we can talk about math all night, but it speaks to a larger cultural effect. And it's like it's infiltrating this lens of viewing history, this corrosive idea.
It's literally exactly what he just fucking said.
Every level. It's not just in sociology. It's making its way into the sciences in English class.
So I'm trying to ask. So do you think that like CRT is headed for a future where we're not going to be teaching 2 + 2 = 4? Do you have an actual example and not just an op-ed from the Wall Street Journal?
No, right now. Well, again, we're headed towards a future.
Here's a question: Have you even read that article?
Have I read that article? No, that's just something I know is happening. It's
something that like I heard you Google, right? It's a 2-minute article. I have read this article. That's why I'm asking if you're familiar with it.
2 + 2 = 4 is racist, and that's the first thing that came up. But the reason why I Googled it is because I've heard this so many times now. People are saying it. There's lefties who I've talked to who unironically believe this. They believe
that 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4.
Yeah, what they say is that if 2 + 2 = 5 is better for everybody and leads to better outcomes, then we should just all agree on that. That goes along in hand with the social constructivist paradigm.
I'm sorry, but I don't know which leftist you're talking about. I will challenge you right now to give me one of them to debate. I know that you won't because they don't exist. You have not talked to a person that said you have never. No. You have never talked to a person in your life. You just said you talked to these people. Now you're saying you don't know their names.
Yeah, I could get some names for you right now.
I want to debate. So Brittany, the next debate, I want to debate 2 + 2 = 5 is good with one of these leftist presidents. I am so curious to hear this. I don't think these people exist. Yeah.
There's a thing on TikTok actually, or I think it was on Twitter, where somebody did give me any word and I will find something on TikTok that says it's racist. And so people were doing that and they were finding just anything like Apple, and they found a TikTok clip that was accusing it of being racist.
Yeah, but I don't care about TikTok. No offense, but teens are cringe. I don't know why I'm saying no offense to you guys, but teenagers are fucking cringe. Teenagers think everything is racist or sexist or stupid or whatever. But like,
okay, so there's one guy specifically. I asked a friend who was arguing about it. It's a libertarian friend of mine. He says that one of the guys in the politically provoked Discord, especially, I've seen him arguing with this guy for like weeks about 2 + 2 = 4 or 5. Guy's name is Emo Adept. You can go ahead and look into it all you want. Set up a debate with him, whatever. But he seriously does argue this position, and I think that there's going to be more like him. So and it's not just him either. So
gotcha. Okay, well, we've got if there's a guy in Discord,
you're asking for clear examples. You're asking for you asked for an example on like the nuclear family. That's a cultural example. You asked for an example of critical race theory.
The confirmation bias is painful here.
Is that you seem to be able to? I don't know if you just can't think on the level of the future that we're headed towards, but you seem to be just denying outright that the little Timmy situation is going to happen.
I think
there are already inner cities in America where whites are a minority, not just majority minority, but a minority altogether. And this critical race theory stuff, it is leading to a ton of anti-white rhetoric and hatred that is pervasive in the media, in the schools, in the government, the military, Lockheed Martin. That is a prepared speech,
I know it's the same one. Lockheed, real important. Is that company owned by a Jew or something, or why do you bring that one up so much?
I don't know how you can pretend that with all of this happening, that it's not going to get worse and more inflammatory in the future, especially as whites become a minority altogether in America, and the other ethnic groups can form voting blocks to outnumber them and make things even worse, according to their new worldview, which is now being taught today.
Okay, so
what's your issue? What's your solution for little Timmy, man? I still have yet to hear an answer on that. You just seem to be.
I can't give you a solution. Well, okay. what about little Johnny? Okay. Little Johnny is a kid that grows up in an ethnically white town that wants to preserve its ethnic superiority. He doesn't have access to any good schools because nobody wants to teach in a racist town. He doesn't have access to any intelligent peers because nobody that's smart wants to live there. He's not able to move or go anywhere else for any sort of opportunities. His particular town has really shitty healthcare. A lot of people have gonorrhea and chlamydia because it's poor and all they do is fuck all day. Half the town has like fucking 27 teeth on the top row because they're all like fucking incest. What are you going to do about little Johnny that's trying to live in his ethnically pure village of people that are all inbreeding all day and have no job opportunities, no cultural opportunities, no engagement with the outside world? What are you going to do about the little Johnny problem?
Is little Johnny a minority? Is that what you're saying?
He's white.
Wait, what? I feel like I didn't follow that very well.
What are you going to do with the little Johnny problem, Miyo? Did he DC?
No, I don't know what's happening. Mia, are you still there?
Oh, you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so first of all, I think it's interesting that I don't know if you heard me say this, that he answered a question with another completely different hypothetical in order to distract everybody.
Your question was already a hypothetical. I can't answer a hypothetical because you've already set the preconditions that I don't agree will exist. It is a hypothetical because it doesn't exist
which
yet.
Are already happening in schools today, man.
Then I'm asking for an example of it happening in schools, and you haven't given me any examples. You just talk about like apple pie.
I'll show you how you give an answer to a hypothetical, even one that we're not headed towards. That's not real. That's not already happening in America today, right now. Okay. The little Johnny question. I'll tell you that there's probably all sorts of domestic, economic, policies which could absolutely benefit that village. They could benefit his people. I bet there are all sorts of things that they could do in order to make their lives better.
How? They're not going to make any
you
money.
Want the answer to be like mass immigration and globalist trade or something like that. And you know what? Maybe
where are they going to get their medical supplies from?
It seems to have done so all throughout society. Now there's an answer to your hypothetical.
You have no answer at all. You have no answer at all. My answer is that people aren't going to bully people in the future for being white. It's cringe to even think that. My answer is that if you have problems today, looking at the color of your skin and trying to blame it on that is just as cringe if you're a like black separatist nationalist or if you're like a white identitarian. There are plenty of things that exist today that alienate us from society. I don't think that being white is one of those things. And unfortunately, I think that people have a lot of problems because of things related especially to like technology and social media. And unfortunately, that means that they're drawn to groups to try to pin all of their problems on one particular thing. There might be some hyper rabid feminist. It might be some super ultra cringe white identitarian that can't give a single example of CRT having a modern day impact that is negative, aside from there's a guy in the politically provoked Discord that argues 2 + 2 = 5. Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, it's not just one guy in the politically provoked Discord. This is making it.
It's a guy on TikTok too.
Mainstream media headlines. Okay.
It's an op-ed. An op-ed saying they're opposed to it.
That. You know, this is sort of like you saying like 3 years ago that someone like Vosh would never come out of your community and like overtake you or parallel you in terms of viewership, something like that, because you just can't imagine that type of future happening.
Why would I ever make a prediction about future online content? I don't know where the fuck the next online content is going to go. It might be more socialist. It might be libertarian. Who the fuck knows? I would never make like strong predictions like that.
Yeah, of course, and you're not going to make any strong predictions about the future of America either, and I think that shows why people shouldn't be listening to you.
No, I'm more concerned with what problems do we have right now, and how can we fix those problems right now, rather than little Timmy in the future might exist in some like bad state, and we need to take dramatic action now, even though I can't think of a single dramatic or drastic action to take. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to engage.
No, we haven't gotten to solutions yet because you've been denying the problem. You still have yet to answer the little Timmy question, even in one little way at all. It's funny, the guy who says, you know, I've been asking you the same question all night over and over again, and you can't give me a good answer, is the guy who's like dodging left and right, trying to squirm out of the little Timmy question as hard as he possibly can.
I can't answer about a future hypothetical. I'm sorry, but like it's a situation that doesn't exist yet.
It's not just a future hypothetical. It illustrates things that are happening in classrooms right now.
But you can't point to those things. That's why you need the future hypothetical.
Yeah, you absolutely can point to those things. There's videos all over the internet of white kids getting beat up for being so-called racist.
Oh my god, videos on the internet of people being beat up?
Yeah, there's and videos on the internet, it turns out, are taken of things that happen in real life. So there are people that this is happening to.
Is this new? White people getting beat up? Has that never happened before?
This
Oh,
is
no.
Destiny's attitude for anybody who's a white person who realizes that you are under attack right now, that people are against you, that you have this scary rhetoric that's approaching you, and that as you become a minority in this country, it's only going to get worse. And these other ethnic outgroups, which don't appreciate you, they don't like you, they hate your culture, your institutions, and your people themselves.
Wow.
Destiny's answer for this is mocking.
That's wild, dog. So did white people just start getting beat up? Was this like in like the late 2000s, or like it was after CRT or BLM, or?
Well, I mean, it's, you know, we can only go so far back in history before we get to segregation itself, right?
Do you want to know? I'm gonna blackmail you on this.
Do
you know what BLM actually stands for? The reason why I don't want to address the little Timmy thing is because BLM is actually a covert organization, and they were actually planning on revealing in 2040 when little Timmy in school. BLM actually stands for beat up light-skinned minorities, but they have to wait until white people become the minority to start attacking them publicly and to actually reveal that's their actual name. So
got him.
What we do there? What do we have for like Q&A?
Yeah, unironically believe you. Just
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that it's, you know, anybody here can see that again. Okay, you just gave a great prepared statement, but I'd like to ask you my question for the 17th time. Okay, so what are you gonna do about little Timmy, man? What's your answer for it at all besides this?
Little Timmy is gonna go to school. There's probably gonna be lots of kids that are different skin colors there, and little Timmy's not gonna be a cringe white identitarian, so he's probably gonna be fine. He's gonna make friends across ethnic groups like we do today for anybody that lives in any major city and has gone to school with different races of kids. And he's probably going to grow up and be just fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that you know, I could completely disagree with the idea that white people, as long as they're not racist, none of this is going to happen to them. Okay, because the fact is that almost every white person that I grew up with, I can't think of a single one actually. All of them weren't racist. Okay, but this they've seen this happening over and over again. It's, you know, here's a little prepared speech for you. My mom, okay, she grew up teaching me.
Anecdote.
You know, I don't see color at all. She doesn't know which characters are black in the TV shows because she doesn't notice because it's so unimportant to her. Over the past 2 years, my mom has heard so much anti-white rhetoric from the minorities that used to be her friends, people around her. Her best friend from when she was in high school blocked her on Facebook because she's white. And white
This
people
is
are
bullshit.
racist, and they're the enemy, and it's bad. And white America
And
is
if
the
your
problem.
mom lost
And so
friends
it's like,
because she was white,
or you
fuck
supported
the
Trump, and
people,
you know what? I think
or
Trump's a
she's
racist.
racist.
You're a racist
Now we're
for
getting a little
supporting
bit closer to the
right?
truth. So it
Things
probably
like that.
wasn't because she was white. Sounds to me like your mom was probably posting some crazy shit on Facebook. I'm going to say that's probably more likely what happened rather than they blocked her for being white, but that's pretty funny. I don't know why the fact that you have like some inability to make friends in high school, why that has to be turned into like everybody else's problem, my dude.
You're saying as long as little Timmy isn't racist, right, then it's going to be okay and turn out okay for him. Well, what I'd present to you is that people are calling white people racist basically all the time over anything. Tell me right
they're
now,
not.
that you've
No,
never
they're
been
not.
called racist before.
Yeah, it happens a lot on social media.
This is almost a universal
But the question
experience
is, what
for
is
white
the
people at
but the
this
question
point.
is, what is the solution? Right? We change the dialogue. We have conversations about this. Right now, the pendulum probably swung too far in the other direction. I think that's the case. I see a lot of cringe shit on social media today. The only difference is I'm not crying and screaming to go back 80 years ago and pretending I've got some relationship with ancestors that I don't fucking know anything about. That's the difference, right? One of us is engaged with the real world and wants to offer real solutions to these real problems, and the other one has some fantastical delusion that they're going to create some white identitarian state in the future that's never going to fucking happen.
Yeah, okay, well, it's interesting to notice that the, half Cuban guy or whatever doesn't know anything about the history of Western civilization or respect it. But, yeah, the fact is that there were great civilizations.
He knows more about
before
Western
us,
civilization
and it
than
would
Miyo, I
behoove us to
guarantee it.
emulate in certain ways.
Why? They're gone.
No empire has ever lasted longer than the Roman Empire. It turns out that
the
nothing
United
lasts
States,
forever,
the United States is arguably like the greatest civilization to have ever existed. Why the fuck would I look back to what Rome did or some other country did?
Yeah, the United States became the greatest country that ever existed, like before all of the mass immigration and all the cultural mixing from all across the world. So it's not exactly an argument for your worldview. But
how is it not? The United States is still going strong, my dude.
the United States was built off of.
I don't know that it's still
specifically
going
with,
strong
like,
at this
even
point,
named
but
as a civilization which is based off of Greek and Roman philosophies and documents. You know, the idea of the Senate. It's written all into the Constitution, and so yeah, our founding fathers who.
Wait, there are parts of Rome like written into the Constitution.
Yeah,
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, like the idea of the Senate, which Rome had, things like that. They based their idea for, if they're like, what's our country going to be like? How is it going to be set up? What system of government is going to be better than King George?
Wasn't our Constitution largely based on like
civilizations of the past in order to figure this out? What worked for different ones and what didn't work for them, but they respected them enough. That's why we have statues of Athena in our courthouses. That's why we have Greek Roman imagery and symbolism and architecture based off of it in all of historical America. So yeah, it is. We do inherit a lot of things from these civilizations, and it's good to, because they were better than most civilizations in the history of the world.
what the fuck?
Do you know anything about the Roman Senate that you're citing right now? Just curious.
Anything about the Roman Senate? I mean, I'm not like the Roman political procedure. I'm not an expert on, but sure, I think I'd know enough.
Can you tell me like the structure of the Roman Senate or anything? I'm curious. Do you think it functions the same way as the U.S. Senate?
I don't know. I don't think it functions in the same way, but it's obvious that the America being a republic was in part the founding fathers of it who wrote these documents were looking toward the greatest republic that ever existed in the history of mankind when they were trying to build theirs. And the fact that you're going to like try and do the music thing about this,
I'm not doing the music thing. You're the one that's bringing this up.
Yeah, no, you're doing everything that you possibly can in order to avoid the Timmy question. Like,
it's not about the Timmy question.
Tell me about the policies of the Roman Senate. Actually,
you're the one that brings.
Yeah, I see how far we've gotten from the point.
All you're doing,
no answer
all
for,
you're
you
doing,
have no answer for little Timmy.
All you're doing over and over again is proving my point. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think you're based. You sound to me like you're an American. You don't know dick all about Roman culture or Old English culture or even modern day English culture.
Fucking
you sound
wrecked.
To me like an American. We probably are pretty similar in that we are both American and we don't know fuck all about anything that happened to people that lived before the year 1900. That's exactly the case that I've been making this entire time.
You can give lip service. I've read Herodotus. I've read Marcus Aurelius, okay? I do have some level of understanding and appreciation, which is worth more for the people who were the great civilizations.
I don't believe for a microsecond that you've read, like, literally any of these things. Like,
okay, well, I mean that's your prerogative. I've read a lot more than that, honestly, too. You know, I've read Plato. I've studied the Iliad. I've been like these cultures are actually I hold almost a reverence for them in many ways.
Okay, for the reverence for the U.S. Constitution, what do you think the U.S. What do you think the U.S. Constitution? What do you think the U.S. Constitution? Sure. So you talk about like Athena and Rome. What do you think the U.S. Constitution is primarily based on?
Fuck, here we go with this bullshit again.
Have you ever heard of like the Magna Carta? Or wait, what do you mean? Like, do you think that the founding fathers were writing about like
the kingdoms which they came from, right? It's not based off of the other civilizations or the empires or the dictatorships that exist all across the world. Which system do you think that it's most like?
Okay, I don't think you know anything about literally.
Question. Yeah, I know why you don't want to say it.
You know that Lady Justice.
The answer.
You know that Lady Justice that you just said it. That's not Athena either. It's a different Greek goddess. Like, you don't know any of these things. You're the one that brings them up. You're the one that brings these things up. No. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Roman statues.
You have no idea what you're talking about for any of these things.
Anybody can look at this.
You don't know
anything.
You don't know anything about what you're talking about.
The architecture, the statues, it's all there, man. It's like you can just like pretend that it's not real, but that really exists. We obviously do have, and it's to show that we have this respect for these ancient cultures, or that we did once upon a time at the founding of this country. And you can see it all over the place. It's If
Okay,
anybody
what-
goes
okay, what is
outside,
the-
you go
what's the
for
next-
a walk
Yeah,
around
yeah, okay, we don't
downtown
need the,
anywhere,
we don't
you
need
can
the
see
prepared speech.
imagery from Greece and Rome.
We don't need the prepared speech. What, is there like a
Yeah,
Q&A
yeah.
at the
What
end of
we
this or
need is
whatever?
an answer for little Timmy, man. We need to know what's your solution, what's going to happen, because this is little Timmy is the reason why I bring it up as a hypothetical.
No.
instead
The
of
reason
just
why you bring it up as a
showing
hypothetical is
an
you're not
example of
grounded in the
something
real
that's-
world. You have no
Yeah,
thing that you can
but I'm
engage
saying,
with in like our
this is
modern day
happening.
like existence.
It's already happening in America.
Then why do you
right
have
now.
to
The
give a
reason I
why do
bring
you
it
have to
up
give a
as
hypothetical little Timmy in
hypothetical,
2040? Why can't you talk
that's
about
what
today?
I'm going for. The reason I bring it up as a hypothetical is because this is going to be a standard white American experience in the future as the white minorities, which we see in many of the inner cities, become the norm all across America, given that European descended peoples are the vast minority of the world population.
Sure. So then
we're
what is
obviously
your-
headed towards that from
so-
your globalist worldview.
Yeah, so what is your what can I look at right now? So let's say I was skeptical of your point of view and I want evidence that all of this horrible stuff is happening to white people right now. Can you point me to something besides YouTube videos that shows that this is a real problem?
Yeah, I could point you to all sorts of things. I
Okay,
could
like
point you
one
to
thing.
Okay, well, I mean, all the institutions, like the media
Which
government,
institution?
are coming out. I'm getting there. They're coming out with ideas like, here are institutions of that are reinforced
No. Stop.
whiteness. No,
running
I'm gonna
down
get to a
all-
specific example.
No, don't get
worry,
to
I'm gonna
one.
Get there.
Just start with one. Just one thing. Give me an example of a damage that's happening to one of our institutions. Go ahead.
Damage that's happening to one of our institutions. Okay,
Yeah.
well, how about the military? Our military is now like more focused on diversity than excellence. Okay, they're focused on bringing in women into the military, even if it means they can't meet the physical standards. Okay, it's like they are. That is, the military is the nation's defense is very important. Obviously,
so women have been in the
and it's even
military,
made it there.
dog, since 1948. Okay. So that's
They're
one.
what?
So women have been in the military since 1948. Okay, Truman signed that.
Okay, and I think that that's a
so
bad thing,
hold on.
and
So
looking
that's
at
wait.
cultures
Okay.
historically
So this is
throughout the
back
world,
during the golden age of
not
the nuclear
normal.
family. So this is fuck this. Now you're talking about racial integration. Do you think there's problems with like black and white people being in the same military, or that this is wrong, or what do you mean by?
Yeah, no, I didn't say anything like that at all. I was just talking about the values of the military.
What
As we see
values?
history,
What,
here's
no,
why.
oh my
It's
God! Here
because
comes
as we
another
look at
vague
the-
answer, another prepared speech. Well, here's
Not-
why. They all eat
Oh,
apple pie. Blah 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 blah. Can
Oh,
you
it's
just
an
can you
idea
stick
that I
on
can't
can you stick
understand.
on one point without dancing
Oh,
around?
no.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
getting to it.
Yeah, so
sorry you
tell
don't
me
like
very
the-
concretely,
you know,
what
the-
is
the
something that has
answers I'm giving you right
changed?
now.
What is something that has changed recently in the military?
Yeah, their priorities. That's what I just said.
Like what?
Like diversity.
Can you give me an example of how diversity has become a new priority of the military? What does that
Yeah,
mean?
there's articles about it. You can read the military.
don't know
is
anything about
saying-
this?
No,
Oh my God.
no. Okay, so I don't have a statement from the military prepared right now.
No, you don't
where
have
they say-
anything. You don't know
where
anything
they
about what
say-
you're talking about. There's always been diversity in the
well,
military,
I've been
my
giving you
dude.
consistent examples for all of this
You haven't
stuff,
given me a
and it's
single
funny
example on
because
anything.
you
All you're
haven't
doing is
given me a
speaking in
single
vague
answer on the Timmy
generalities.
question, man.
Because the
You
Timmy
keep
question is like
saying-
everything else you're saying, non-existent.
I think everybody sees that what's happening here tonight is Destiny is essentially just keeps saying, "Oh, that's a prepared speech. Oh, well, I don't like that point," or that's not specific enough for me, or that's another prepared speech. You just memorize that all night long.
Can you give me
and
an
I'm making good
example?
points.
Okay,
I'm
so
bringing
I'll
up
ask
specific
again. Can you give me an example of how diversity right now is being focused on in a different way in the military and how it's hurting the military? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the military openly says that like this is one of their top priorities now. They didn't used to say that, so that represents a change.
So
okay,
can you
change in priority.
So can you tell me how is this damaging the military right now?
I think that as it overtakes other priorities, which used to be historically
what?
important to the military,
Like what?
that's going to represent all sorts of changes. That
So
that
again, this
will
is a
be-
future hypothetical problem. You can't point to anything right now. Okay. We should just do like Q&A.
I
This is
mean,
like
you
literally
can
a waste of
say
time.
that
Like
all
we have
you
nothing.
but
There's like
yeah, thinking about the future and where the trends are headed is important for people who are thinking about the future of this country.
Gotcha.
I don't know why anybody would listen to somebody who can't think about the future, draw lines along trends, see the trajectory of where we're headed, and try to cut it off when it's headed in the wrong way, or course correct and steer back in the right direction. So
So
yeah,
a trend,
I think it's interesting.
A trend is
so do you have an answer for
Yeah.
Timmy yet, or is it, for the
Yeah.
18th time tonight, Mr. Prepared Speeches and Answers?
Okay.
I'd like to hear what your solution is for these white
I can't
minority
give you a
students who are
solution to
going through
hypothetical
critical
problems
race
you haven't
theory
even shown me
alongside
exist.
non-whites.
So here's like
Can
an
I ask a
example.
question, though?
What?
Can I ask a question? Because some of the like concerns I've had. When was the last time we had any kind of comprehensive immigration bills?
Comprehensive immigration is really hard. I don't know if we're ever going to get one.
Like, was there a specific time that immigration kind of started skyrocketing?
The one that white identitarians like to focus on is the Hart-Celler Act, but that started skyrocketing for reasons that people didn't even know at the time. So one of the big provisions of that Immigration Act was people wanted to open up the ability for families to immigrate to the United States. And originally when people opened that up, they were like, oh, maybe a whole bunch more Europeans are going to come to the US now. But one of the byproducts of that was we started to see a lot more immigration from the South as a result of that. I think conservatives in the 2000s refer to this as daisy chain immigration, where you'd have somebody come over, they'd get citizenship, and then they bring more and more family over or whatever. But comprehensive immigration is really hard to do because you need to get like bipartisan support in the Senate for stuff like this. And our political division in the Senate has reached like record highs.
Like, I was looking at the population increases, and when you look up United States, you see like this huge hill of
Throw it up on screen.
Yeah, whereas like the UK, it's been like stagnant for I think 60 years or something. And I'm just curious, is that because of our immigration, or is that because of our
population growth in the United States? My guess in the US is it's probably largely going to come from immigration, because as generally as countries move towards industrialization, your rate of birth goes down as women gain greater access to reproductive rights and education, and as people no longer need to have a fuck ton of children because they're all dying in childbirth.
Yeah, and I looked up, like, I think Brazil said that they have a longer lifespan, and they're having a lot more babies or something. But like you can see, like with the United Kingdom, they have just been pretty much stagnant, whereas we have just been going on this huge increase of and it's I mean, okay, I'm just asking questions because like this is something I have somewhat been red pilled on a bit, but so.
I don't know why people would want to, like, I'm not sure why you would want to move to the United Kingdom, though. Like, if you wanted to be, especially now, if you wanted to be part of the European Union, or even in the past, if you wanted to be part of the European Union, like, in terms of being in part of, like, the Schengen, like, free movement zone, like, technically the UK had exclusions from that. So, I could be wrong, but, like, my guess would be if you're moving for, like, economic opportunity, I don't know why you would want to go to, like, the UK over a place like France, Italy, Portugal, Sweden, like, any of those.
Oh, it's all the people that are going there.
Are the people that are going to the UK seem to be more from,
Muslim countries.
Yeah, thank you. That's what seems to be going on over there, but we're not dealing with that. But like we're bringing in a lot of low-skilled labor that is going to be automated in like 10 to 20 years or something. And so how do we end up dealing with that once they don't have any jobs either?
I mean, you have to educate your base, right? Like investments in education.
What does that mean?
I mean, we have to make more investments in education like every other country in the world does. Like we have our ability right now to get people through school without like a fuck ton of debt, or without having like these huge barriers to entry that relate to economic conditions, or being able to take care of your family. These are like huge issues that we have in the United States that every European country seems to have solved that we haven't solved for some reason yet in the United States. So I think that like getting people like more educated is probably important, but also like a fuck ton of people that come to the United States via immigration are also educated. Like they boost our education rates, whether it's wealthy Chinese people that come over or any immigrants. I'm pretty sure like half the immigrants that come to this country like have college degrees. Like it's part of the immigration process to get here.
Yeah, it's funny.
Not really. It's not.
You say that it's difficult it's difficult to get people educated in the United States. Well, I'd put forth that it's more difficult to get some people educated in the United States than others, and you can see that in that SAT scores, the way that they play out, even when you control for economic status. So there's that. First of all, there's the
wait. What is the implication of that, or what are you saying from that? What do you mean?
Yeah. Let's just say the average IQ of the people going over the border is what, 87 coming over from South America, and the average
oh
IQ
my fucking god, dude, I can't
is 100.
I'm not gonna keep streaming this bullshit. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, we're gonna do a short ending screen and then we're done here. This is fucking embarrassing. This was a waste of time. I learned Nothing. Good night.